Hello, Internet, and welcome to a slightly late Survivors Complex. Sorry for the delay. We had some technical issues, meaning that I am technologically illiterate and cursed and somehow bricked 2 monitors in the course of 20 minutes. So I think we're all right. We're somewhat limited in our operating capacity today, but we should be able to push through just fine. And afterwards, I might have lost a few years off my life, but we'll see. Otherwise, I don't think we have a lot of announcements. On Tuesday, we have our first session of the Cypher system. We're calling it Wonder World. And you guys are welcome to come out and view that. It's going to be starting at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And it's going to be fun. We're going to have, I think, Kyle, Alex, and Savannah are going to be there. And other Alex from Valendor is going to be there as well. That won't get confusing at all.
No.
But we should be having a lot of fun there. I've never run a Cypher System game, so see how it goes. Otherwise, hopefully have our tech issue solved by then too. Otherwise, I'm just going to be a mess. So I think we're just ready to get started. Don't want to delay any longer than we have to, and we'll do our rest of our announcement stuff after the game. Okay, so bringing us in for our recap. Last session that we met, the crew had made their way from the city of 10,000 steps deep into the Graudarian wilds to aid the the Tabaxi war clan in defending Demon's Breach, the mountainous divide between Tabaxi and Gnoll territory on the continent of Graudar. You all made your way to this city, or the ruins of the City of Glass, which stands resolute on the cliff sides that separate or create this Demon's Breach. As you arrived, the leader of the Tabaxi, a woman named Panther, had sort of given you your orders, and you had come up with a game plan, a strategy to, along with the help of the leader of the Tabaxi, of the Screeching Wind clan, which you were currently with, named Storm. Your group came up with a plan to divide and conquer the city, much in the same way that the Gnolls had previously. Your group was tasked with seeking out the Gnoll leader, Gorfang, and trying to incapacitate or kill the leader so that the rest of the Gnolls might disperse in fear. You made your way into the city, bypassing a lot of conflict along the way, and eventually making it to the ruins of the palace where Gorfang resided. You, upon making your way to this sort of fighting arena that seemed the Gnolls were using to slaughter and sacrifice a number of creatures, came face to face with Gorfang himself, and as well as a few hundred other Gnolls that surrounded to watch this battle. The conflict began, jumping down into this pit to fight Gorfang in combat. A number of you taking quite a serious amount of damage, some of you coming close to the brink of death, but however defeating Gorfang, at which point the Gnolls that stood ready for their chieftain's victory seemed to recede from and balk at the idea of fighting any further. They scattered as the sounds of the conflict drew closer between the Tabaxi that were fighting outside the city gates, and you were all left victorious in the center of the ruins of the palace. You were able to loot and gather any supplies from the bodies nearby and began to make your way back to the war front, seeing what remained of the Tabaxi warriors. And that's where we pick up today, with all of you having gathered your supplies, mended your wounds the best you could, looting some of Gorfang's treasures, and making your way outside of the palace and down the steps. And it's there that you see the approaching Tabaxi force, the few squads as they sort of convene in this central location in the city. You can hear the screeching and yelping of gnolls as they flee towards the perimeter of the ruins, and the sounds of their terror kind of fading as this happens. You see some familiar faces in the crowd. The Yuan-Ti covered in blood. You see a few other, the soldiers that you kind of recognized as you've been traveling them for a while. You also see Barb and Panther and Storm kind of pushing their way to the front, as well as this kind of chaos gathers in the center of the square. Everyone looking around, sort of shocked at how easily the day might have been won. Storm comes closer to all of you as you descend down the steps, eyeing you all over, seeing your wounds, and says, I assume it worked.
Gorfine's now a puddle. I don't think there's a better word.
The gnolls began to run and shout in their language. I wasn't able to pick most of it up, but they sounded frightened. I took that as a good sign. We killed many as they fled, right, Panther? And Panther wipes off her blade, or her spear, and she says, stabbed a few in the back as they tried to get away, but I'm afraid too many of them survived. They'll be back before too long. It seems as the city is ours again. Good job, all of you. I was certain you were going to die and I was going to have to pick up the pieces, but glad to see you survived.
Now, since we have control of the city, how hard would it be to get 1,000 steps to try to shore this place up a bit, make it more of a fortress again?
Storm shrugs, says, I don't know if the council will be able to garner that amount of resources to create any sort of stronghold here. The idea has been breached and has never gained much traction within the council. But it seems as though we have some strong enough fighting force to hold the land, and siege warfare isn't so much our style anyway, so...
I mean, it might be the style of the Vrandolians, since, they might throw in on their side.
Well, that's their choice if they decide to partner or create some sort of alliance with the gnolls. They'll be finding rather quickly that these mongrel folk aren't exactly those that can be reasoned with. They're more likely to have an arrow in the eye than any sort of truce.
Works for me.
But it seems as though we've done what we came here for, and much faster than I had anticipated. Panther, I assume you'll hold the position here, then regather our strength. She nods. She says, we'll make do with what we have. We'll get word to the rest of the clan and have more squads stationed here until we can rebuild and refortify. We should have a few weeks until the gnolls elect a new warlord and we begin this all again.
Hopefully the next one won't be as smart.
We'll see. Or they'll be smarter, but that's the risk we take every time we strike one of them down, that something worse will take their place. What can you do? But thank all of you for your contribution here. We wouldn't have been able to do this without you.
Well, I mean, it needed to be done. Plus, it was a good fight. I finally got to see, sort of, one of the gorillas you always talk about. It's still not alive, and I'm still kind of skeptical about it, but I actually saw a body. That's all I care about.
Storm kind of gives you a strange look and says, I'm pleased that you had that experience that you were so looking forward to for some reason.
He's been talking about it for months. We've been through this jungle for months. Never seen them. They're supposedly 25 feet tall. No hide, no hair. Finally get to see one. He's dead, but I get to see one. So I know it's alive. Sort of. Or one time.
I'm sure we'll run into one sooner or later. They can't hide forever.
I mean, I wish I could, bring it back, but I can't do that.
Well,
speaking of which, is my zombie still just behind me?
I was about to ask about the gnoll zombie.
Yeah, I mean, it's still sort of just following you around.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, unless you order it to do something else, it's just going to follow you at a distance because you told it to. The Storm shakes his head and says, well, anyway, I suppose we should be returning to 10,000 steps. I have a few weeks' journey ahead of us, I assume.
Well, if there's nothing else to do here, I don't think there's anywhere nice to go look around or show people.
Nothing in this area. Just more gnolls.
So, target practice or back to the nice big comfy city?
I'm kind of done with fighting for today.
I need a bath. Am I just covered in gore?
Yeah.
I smashed that guy's head. It's coming back to me.
Yeah. No, it's
you turned him into paste.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a reason I described him as a puddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're Campbell's chunky chicken noodle soup at this point. Just covered.
I think it'd be more like tomato, but okay.
Yeah. So,
he kind of turns to Din. Really, you of all people can't just create water out of nothing?
Oh yeah. I mean, I could. After we had a long rest and I thought really hard about a different spell that I don't have prepared today.
Right. I apologize. I don't know how you're spellcasting. I have limited spellcasting, so.
Yeah, it's you just sort of pray on it and you're like, this is what I need today, and then you have it. It's so cool.
It's pretty interesting. Seems like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Is the prince anywhere around?
Yeah, actually, as you say that, or sort of realize that he's not standing anywhere nearby. Your eye catches something. Your eye catches something in the sky as you see the kind of white-robed figure of the prince sort of gliding through the air. He's sort of been hovering up, and you can see him as he surveys the area, looks down, seeing everyone else, and sort of glides down to them, or to all of you. As he lands on the ground, brushes himself off and says, glad to see that you all made it.
You didn't run away. It's a good thing.
No, I just stayed very high in the air and, pew pew.
Well, we're glad you're all right. And I walk up to him and I act like I'm gonna give him a big hug.
Please don't. These are new robes. I really don't wish to have to clean them again.
Lou pushes her right into him.
I grab him
Yeah.
and I pat him on the back.
Please let go of me. Please let go of me.
I let him go.
All right. He pushes you away and looks down at his now sullied robes.
I just imagine the UNT delegation just kind of flicking her tongue at you.
Yeah, they're watching this all in sort of pleasant amusement. And he's looking down. He says, "Oh, well, thank you for that.
Welcome to the club. You actually did something. You have the proof that you did something. First big battle. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, just imagine if you were on the front lines, much worse.
Fair enough.
I mean, it points to Den. I mean,
and even Den sort of pales in comparison to standing next to her, Barb, whose axe is sort of just dripping with just blood. I mean, her brown leather clothing and hair and red hair is just, I mean, it's all red at this point, just dripping with blood. You see some entrails just kind of dangling over one shoulder, and she's just sort of brushing it off.
so basically like Carrie. Just
Yeah, like Carrie. Yeah, exactly like
Awesome.
that. And she has kind of at her foot, she's dragging like the head of one of the gnolls that she killed as a trophy. And you can see that Panther is sort of watching and very impressed by it. It seems like she's been very impressed by this, whatever happened at the front lines. And the prince, now seeing all this, says, I suppose that we all should be getting back then. I'm ready for a bath, so back to 10,000 steps right now.
as soon as he says that, he kind of Lou has to just look at Den, look at him, look at Den, and just nope, too easy.
All right, so
I have this look on my face like I have no idea what he means.
I'll tell you later, maybe.
he says, I can take a few of us. Obviously, he looks toward the rest of the back, so he can't take everyone with me, but counselor, do you wish to travel with us back to the city? The rest of you, are you looking to leave immediately?
Yeah.
All right. Well, give me a second to get everything ready. And begins to prepare, and you hear kind of a from the fully carried figure of Barb, and she says, actually, I think I might stay here for a little while. Lou, I was going to talk to you a bit about this, but I was talking with Panther, and these people know how to fight, like, really fight. I think I could learn some stuff from them. Well, not that you can't, and looking at you, Dan, it's just different, you know? And they have a lot of stories here, and I think I could learn a lot if I stayed here for a little while, and, you know, we've been apart before, and we can meet up again. I know how to find you guys. Is that all right? Do you need me?
I mean, yes, of course we need you, but if you think this is something that you want to do or have to do, I'm not going to stand in your way of that.
I'm having fun here, and I know that, Den, you gotta get to your place, and you guys are leaving, but I'm sure you'll be back. I mean, Star's gonna come back at some point, right? You live here, so.
I'll definitely be around eventually. I don't know. This is the first time I'm back in my country for 5 years. It's just still a bit weird.
Yeah. I mean, I can find you guys again. It'll be okay. But I think I could learn some stuff if I stayed here for a little while. Hey, I mean, I'm a big hit back at the city. Probably book a few gigs.
You could probably make a lot of money there.
Yeah. hey, maybe I'll get famous and start touring around. Maybe you'll find me before I find you.
Maybe we'll just come to one of your shows.
All right. She takes the lute, and then she's been trying to clean off, plucks a few strings of it. Sounds a bit out of tune, but she slings it back over her back. She says, well, I guess you guys are leaving now, so I'll say my goodbyes. For now, at least.
We'll see you later.
Yeah.
When we come back, you better have more stories and more songs and a lot more stuff.
All right. Will do.
I'm just going to quickly mage hand, so while all this lovey-dovey heart talk is going on, it just drums her lute a bit.
Okay. That just sounds like the music that's on right now. Doom, doom, doom. And she goes up and kind of goes to give each of you a hug, fully gore covered. She goes over to the prince and kind of goes up. He kind of shrinks away a bit. All right. And then she hugs him anyway. The prince tries to brush himself off again, realizing how pointless it is at this point. Says, all right, let's go then. Maybe I'll just leave some of you here. And begins to trace in the air some of the ruin work. The Tabaxi kind of give their farewells. Storm comes and joins you all in the circle. Barb goes to stand over near Panther and the rest of the war tribe. And with a flash and sort of that lurching sensation in your stomach, you all feel yourself being pulled through the ether again, and within an instant, landing on solid ground on the middle of the Golden Terrace in the city of 10,000 Steps. And you hear a shriek as some of the Tabaxi in the area see these like 7 bloody figures just appear out of nothing. Actually, appear out of nothing, just covered in gore, just monsters appearing in the middle of the city.
Whoops.
Yeah, I don't really think we thought that one through.
Perhaps just outside the city would have been better, maybe?
Too late.
I do think it's a little too late for that.
You see,
they're not attacking us, which is a good thing.
They're not.
I wouldn't attack us.
Guards in 3, 2.
So you see some people come rushing over, some panic in the streets, but Storm steps out and begins to try to calm everyone using his authority to do so. The prince looks at all of you and says, "Oh, it's my bad there. I'm going to go wash up now. See the rest of you later." And goes walking away in a huff, kind of muttering about his robes and his sullied appearance at this point.
He's starting to grow on me.
This guy goes through a whole battle, doesn't get a drop of blood on him.
I mean, he flew.
Disgraceful.
There's Star just standing there who's like only got like a few tiny bruises and one tiny cut. Just no blood at all. It's weird.
I just wipe my hands on it.
At that point I don't think Lou has any blood on him other than
Actually, we all would have gotten covered in gore after Bob hugged us.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true.
So you're all part of that club at this point.
Storm's with us, isn't he?
Yes.
In common, because I assume he speaks common. Storm, I've been hearing weird rumors. I was wondering if, as one of the others, you might know something about them.
After calming down a kind of hysterical Tabaxi mother, kind of clutching one of her cub to her chest, after all of you appeared, he comforts her and turns back towards you and says, Rumors about what?
Just something really small. Like when I go to some of the bars or taverns around the city, I keep hearing people mention Mark's Tabaxi.
You make a deception check.
Why is my sheet not up? Where is it? Damn you, roll 20, you betrayed me.
Disgraceful.
Press the
Shame.
button.
The shame hammer will come down.
Oh, please be nice. 6.
6. He eyes you over. Interesting. You should wash up. We'll speak more on it later.
Fair enough. We'll see you around. It's gonna take me hours to get this out.
He looks you over for a few seconds and then turns back towards the ziggurat and begins making his way inside.
Guys, I'm gonna go lay down. I don't feel so good. It's no good.
It's probably a good idea that you do.
Okay.
You need anything?
To not die anymore.
Oh my god. Oh, that hurts.
But that's not anybody else's fault. I gotta be a little bit more strategic, and I gotta think about that, but my head really hurts. I'm gonna go lay down for a little while. I'll see you guys later tonight, okay?
Alright.
What are the
Wait,
rest of you doing well?
did-
Oh,
I have 2 questions. One, did the zombie teleport with us?
he was with the group.
Oh, God.
So,
Oh god.
and that's one of the reasons.
Hence
that
why
the
people were
vaccine
freaking
was
out.
screaming so badly.
Lucius, you might want to get something to cover whatever you're calling that.
Your friend.
Whatever yeah, I can see how that might be a little bit of a problem in this city. Ooh. Yeah, it's probably good if and he releases it so it just like drops. He stops the spell.
So now
You
there's
can't
a
stop
dead,
the spell.
There's a dead gnoll.
I
It
thought-
doesn't. No,
I thought it-
No, it stays a zombie until it dies.
Until 24 hours.
No, after 24 hours, you just lose control over it. It stays alive.
So
If you drop the spell, you're dropping control over it. It still stays.
Oh, that's probably not a good idea.
Maybe we should like take him out in the woods
Yeah, it's
and just set him free.
Zombie Knoll, it's time to go to the farm. Let's
You
go to the
hear-
farm.
You hear kind of a hissing in your ears as I can take it off your hands if you wish. As one of the Yuan T kind of walks past Ambassador Threshka, she says, I haven't had enough to eat yet.
Hey,
no, I've got this. It's fine. Thank you though for the very awkwardly strange comment.
Fine then. Waste of food.
They are so
She leaves, too.
weird.
It was. I don't know if she's talking about me or him.
What? I have a second unrelated question.
2.
So, what?
To who?
To you.
Okay.
To myself. I'm just here to talk to myself. So when we traveled to Thousand Steps, I guess, do I remember, like, as we were coming into the city, any, like, bodies of water that are close by? Like a pond?
There
or
are
a
some
river?
like streams and rivers that
Or a creek?
around. Yeah. You can go down.
Really? A
Go
crick?
down to the creek down by just outside the city walls. Do some catfishing,
Some frog gigging.
some frogging.
Okay. Okay. Then I'm gonna head that way. I'm gonna
Okay.
go sort of out for a bit, outside the city. Anybody wanna go?
Well, I mean, I have to go because I don't think it's a good idea to keep him here.
Yeah.
It's probably not a good idea.
Anyway, I'm gonna go for a swim.
I'll join you, because I need some room to fix up. Dida.
I will go wash up, then find somewhere to drink and brag for a bit. And I'm sure not many the best can say this fight being in a pit with an old warlord.
Fair enough. Right, well, we'll see you and Lil, I guess, later.
Okay. So, I just lost all names in my head for a second there. Lucius, Sadel, and Den. The three of you head down with Didar and Zombie Gnoll into outside the city.
Can
There
I
are a
put
few-
Zombie Gnoll on Didar?
That's up to
To ask his
Didar's-
permission.
That's up to Didar's master.
Right? Instead of having him walk, did I just put him on Didar so it's higher up, people's not going to notice? Instead of like dragging him through the streets. It's
Because,
just
yeah, no one's looking at Dida at all. He's unnoticeable completely.
you don't know, okay? You don't know how technologically advanced these people are. This could be something they use all the time. It's probably not, but I don't want to assume because that's rude.
How forward thinking of you.
At least
Let's
I
go.
tried.
Come on, I want to go swim.
Fine.
Okay, so you all make your way outside this, down through the city streets to the walls at the far reaches of the city of 10,000 Steps. There are a few more kind of gasps and cries of terror at seeing the dead body of the gnoll wander through the city streets. But you're able to keep that to a minimum and keep the panic to a minimum as well. Eventually, you make your way outside the city, kind of pushing into the underbrush a bit and finding a suitable small jungle river just outside the city.
Surprise gorilla attack!
I am gonna.
They're here.
Finally! I am, as long as I look around and there aren't any gorillas around attacking us, I'm gonna, like, ditch my armor and stuff for a while. And, like, I've got clothes on. Not many, but, like, clothes. And, kind of ditch that stuff and, like, clean off my armor and stuff. Because I bet chainmail is the most disgusting when it's got gore on it.
Yeah, and the leathers and cloth that you keep between the chainmail too is even like saturated now with the gore that's made its way through it,
So I'm gonna ditch all that stuff and
the sweat from wearing it.
and try to clean that and myself.
Okay. And you haven't attuned to the weapon yet, have you?
Not yet.
So
I
you
am.
ditched
Oh,
all.
well, yeah. I guess I should say since I ditched all my stuff, everybody can see all my tattoos now.
Yes, they can.
I thought they were only just on the arms.
No, there's a lot of them. So yeah, so Den's got the tattoos on her arms, and so the Triton markings do extend like all the way down her neck and shoulders. Also, her entire back is covered in this big, like it's like a verse basically, but it's not in common, so I don't think anyone can tell what it says. But yeah, so her entire back and all of her arms and her legs too, like her calves and feet and everything have more of the like Triton markings on them. And then she's also got one on the side of one of her legs that's this huge, it's not a tattoo, it's a brand that's like the entire side of one of her legs, that looks like a kraken type thing with like tentacles going up. It's kind of nasty looking.
Lucius kind of stares for a little bit and then goes, "This is might be a little weird, but hold on," and just walks around her to like see all of it.
I'm not awkward about it at all. I just stand there.
It's very
Just flexing.
yeah, right. It's very very impressive. How long did all of this take?
Well, I mean, the brand only took like a second. That's a long story.
I mean, they're all probably long stories.
I mean, I think the one.
Unless it says, like, you know, special combination 5 or something.
No. The one on my back took the longest. It's like my entire back. So, but yeah, I mean, a long time. That one took a couple of days.
I don't read the language. What does it say?
Oh, it's in my mother language, I guess you would say. It's basically a prayer to my god that's like sort of the tenets that we keep. It's all about like standing as a shield for our brothers and being the protectors and, you know, living in the eye of the storm and stuff like that. Dramatic things.
Very you.
Yeah.
They're impressive.
Thanks.
Everyone should go get clean now because, ew.
I
So you
gotta
all-
swim.
Yeah, so you all clean yourselves off the best you can, jumping or using water from the river to clean all the blood and stuff off. And then Dylan or Shadow, you're gonna begin to work on repairing Dieter.
I just have this scene in my head of Lucius like taking off armor and then handing it to the gnoll. Hold this and clean it. Hold this too, and this too.
It's just a coat rack standing there at this point. Okay.
Can I, once we're all, like, clean and sort of done swimming and stuff, but just getting myself together. So, what are we doing with your friend there?
You know, I hadn't really thought of it that far. Actually, I did think of it that far. I thought I could, you know, stop, but that didn't seem to work when I tried it. So, I don't think it's a good idea for him to go back into the city. I mean, gnoll, zombie. Put those two together, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
I could maybe keep him outside the city, but at the same time, don't really feel like it would be a good thing.
So do you just, like... Can you just, like, control him forever?
I have to concentrate, at least from what I'm kind of experimenting with. Yes, forever, but once per day I need to actually concentrate and make sure it stays under control. It's a simple process. It takes no time at all, but
Follow-up question.
Hmm.
So you can just do that to people? If they die, you just make them
well,
like that?
it's I'm still learning how to do it. I tried to do it with a sparrow when I first learned that, you know, I had the power. It didn't work at all. I think it has to be people, for lack of a better term. But yeah, I can. I wouldn't do it to like anyone that I know, unless they're okay with it, because that would be kind of rude. But I highly doubt anyone would be okay with it.
follow-up question.
Number 2.
Yeah. So is he that thing? Is he like the same now that he was when he was alive? Because
No.
these are like demon thingies.
You want to rephrase that, please?
Like, they're like demons, sort of. So like, no. I mean, like, we watched. You're like a person. You didn't just like crawl out of the hells and come up here.
Oh, well.
And you're not going around like murdering people and stuff.
That you know of.
So that I know of. But I mean, I don't know. You're my friend, and I sort of made the assumption that you were a decent person. I mean, if you are going around and murdering people, I would like to know. But that's not the point. I mean, we just saw like some really terrible, horrible things. And if there's a literal demon thing following us around, I sort of want to know about it.
It is... How do I put it? It's more of a... And I'm going to use the definition in the spell. It's more of a mimicry of life, not life itself. It is alive in the sense that you can see it and it can do certain things, but without guidance or without being told what to do, and with a little bit of power, it basically does nothing until it stops. If I told it to stay here, it would stay here until it was destroyed. Or until I stopped concentrating on it and then it did what it wanted, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to get to that point.
So it can do what it wants, though.
Base instinct what it wants.
Which
At
is
least-
like to murder
least-
things.
That's what I assume. I don't know. This is the first time I've done it.
Yeah, see, that's what scares me. Listen, alright. I'm sorry I screamed at you about it earlier. I was really sort of amped up in that moment.
Really? The whole calling
Yeah.
of the lightning bolt and turning someone into a puddle of, well, tomato soup.
You get a little, you know,
Yeah. I
blood
know.
starts pumping. So I'm sorry I yelled at you.
I've been in war. I've heard worse.
Yeah, so I'm sorry I yelled. Sort of.
No, you're not. It's perfectly fine.
But
I'll
here's
never
the thing.
apologize for what you believe.
Okay, here's the thing. Look, it's okay. It's undead. Fine. Right. I'm a priest, cleric type thing, so I'm sort of built to get rid of those. But I'm also not... I've been around for a bit, and I understand that, like, not everything's black and white, and not everything is just good, and everything is just evil, and that's fine. It's not really that was bothering me.
So, what is bothering you?
You're my friend, right?
I would like to think so, yes.
Alright. Last time we trusted a sort of creepy thing that was following you around that you said was your friend and would do your bidding. We saw it rise up behind you and rip out your heart and you died.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
So I'm a little wary of you just making more friends, I guess. And so I got sort of freaked out.
It's understandable.
We've already seen it happen once, and
The...
you know.
No, I understand what you're saying. What you saw when I died, which, little side note, saying that out loud, 10 times worse than, like, it actually happening.
Yeah, that's messed up.
So when I died, that one time, I don't actually think that was it's very difficult to explain what it is. It's a part of me. It's part of my power. It's part of my magic, what I can do. I don't think that was me. I think that was something else that has kind of been with me for all of my life. All of my life. There's a lot about it that I don't understand. I'm trying to understand it, but being that it only happens in my family once every handful of generations, it's hard to know what it is.
Well, your family sounds more interesting than mine.
Not so much.
I just really didn't want to see you like raise up something else from the ground and then have it turn around and like, you know, rip your throat out or something. So
Well, I mean, I don't need to raise something to rip my throat out. We fight almost every day. It's probably going to happen. I mean,
yeah,
I hope if I ever do turn evil, which I don't expect to, I'm trying to. I've done some pretty bad things in my time. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to atone for all of that. But if I do kind of, something happens and I do finally just snap, at least, I think I would want someone to get rid of me, I guess. But I'm not planning on it. I'm not planning on that to happen. And I would never do that to anyone that I know. I'm still learning about it myself. I don't know if this would be the first and only time I do it, or if it's one of many. I mean, I don't have a new, shiny new weapon that you have. I have to figure out a way to protect myself. This is one of them.
you got me.
Yeah, but you're not always going to be around.
You never know. I live longer than you.
Well, I mean, yes, you live longer than me, but
Maybe.
people are always going to go after you. You're the most, at this point, you're the most powerful one in the group when it comes to like brute strength. We all have very powerful things we can do, and we're learning every day. But at the end of it, I'm pretty squishy, as you know. You can tell by the prints. We at least aren't the most hardy of people.
He is squishy.
Yes, it's kind of funny.
I get it. I do, and I don't actually want you to stop doing what you're doing.
No, I'm not going to.
I just think maybe for like my sake and maybe a bit for Lil, because I think she might be more upset than she lets on. Just maybe some warning if you're gonna be like making zombies and stuff.
I mean, heat of the moment, blood pumping. I had to try it. But the next time I will let people know. I think I can do more, actually, but I don't want to do it now. It's probably not a good idea.
Alright. I hate talking. Let's go get something to drink.
Yes, please, God, all of this talking. Let's
so
go.
Weird.
It is weird. You know, you never like people. They don't understand the whole thing of silence. It's perfect. I don't understand.
As Saddle has just sat here the entire time working on his dinosaur. This conversation. So you guys finish bathing and repairing your doodads, heading back towards the city, cleaned and ready to go, heading and meeting up with Star, who I assume is at the tavern. You guys can have some drinks, regale in your tales of adventure, and tell many tabaxi about your victory this day. Eventually, the evening sort of wears on. You guys sort of start to feel the exhaustion of what has transpired in the last 24 hours. And you all find yourselves sort of dragging and ready to retire for the evening.
I look like the zombie I raised now.
Yeah. And are you keeping the zombie with you?
I mean, I have to. If I leave him anywhere, I don't know what's going to happen.
All right.
Like, is there any way, like, I know it's going to be really weird, but, like, is there any way to, like, disguise him or something? Like, throw a cloak over him, something?
Sure, you could do that.
Like,
You could put your cloak on him if you wanted to.
I mean, I wish Star was here so I could be like, turn him invisible, please, but Star's not here.
The Star is with you right now.
Oh, is he? Sweet. Star, I have, like, one little tiny request. If you could. I'm not getting rid of him because, well, really, I can't, and I don't know if I try, he might turn back to his own fashion ways. Could you, like, turn him invisible for me, please, so we could, like, walk through the city and not have to worry about people trying to kill us all? Please.
I just look at Lucius, look at it, look at Lucius, look at it, and I just flick it as I cast invisibility on it.
Okay. And it kind of shimmers for a moment and then vanishes from sight.
Great. Awesome. I'll have to figure out how to do something with him. Anyway.
What I'm planning on doing with this invisibility as well, though, is at the least opportune moment when I know that Lucius will be looking in Raphael's direction, I want it to just suddenly reappear right in front of him.
Okay. So you guys are on your way back to the to your quarters at the ziggurat, and as you guys are making your way inside, Lucius, you're getting your stuff ready. You turn back to sort of locate your pet, and then suddenly you drop the spell, Star, and there right in front of you is this hideous blood and wound covered gnoll. It's one of its eyes kind of lolling out to the side, just standing there, just
He screams just a little bit and then curses in, I think he knows Infernal.
Okay.
Hold on. I know it's one of those. Yeah, Infernal. He just curses curses in Infernal, and then curses Star in Celestial, just because of what happened. That fucking cat. I'm going to kill him. That was really good, but I'm going to kill him. First, again, as he's walking to his quarters with this thing behind him, first the gorillas. He tells me there's gorillas and there's no gorillas. I don't know. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him.
And the rest of you
didn't tell him is the gorillas are all invisible.
You all make your way to your rooms to rest for the evening, which is a little difficult for you, Lucius, as the zombie is just kind of standing over your bed for the entire night. Den, yes?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, when we were, because at the end of last week, Sadel was like identifying all of our stuff and everything. So what exactly did Sadel say about the flail?
Did you tell her everything when you identified it?
Oh yeah, no, I would have told her everything that I could learn about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, before we all go to bed, I sort of gather everyone sort of in one area. So we need to work out what to do with the things we got from the lair, because I've got some valuable things in my bag you guys might like.
Oh yeah, I also have this ring.
I mean, we got a lot of stuff.
Forgot about until right now.
Oh, Sean, actually, question. With my boots, it says it has 3 charges. Is it 3 charges a day? 3 charges every week? Because I don't think it's
3 charges a day.
Cool. All right. It's good to know. All right. So what kind of things do we have?
Well, I have these elven-made boots of elven kind. They make people quieter when they walk.
I mean, I've got quiet boots anyway.
That might be helpful for Den or I, because we're so clanky.
I really hate shoes.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I hold up my leg not actually gonna hold up my leg. And I kind of point to like the fins that are on the back of my. I hold up my leg, and and I kind of point to like the fins that are on the backs of my calves and like my webbed toes.
God, I wish you guys could have heard the awful popping noises my knees just made.
I just stick my foot right in the Levette's face.
It was like bubble wrap.
No, I don't really like shoes, so someone else can have that.
I
That's
mean,
fine.
I already have boots that probably outstrip what they can do, so I'm good.
I'm quieter than all of you put together. Let's be honest.
Hey, okay, you may be right, but you
I
don't
can
have
sneak anywhere better than you.
to. Again, factual, but you don't need to rub it in people's faces.
I can do anything you can do better.
You know what? No, let Star be proud of the thing he's good at.
I know he should be proud of it. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. It's just factual.
I will pass the boots of Elvenkind to Lilibet then.
Thanks, Star.
And the other thing we got was this magic wand that, if I'm remembering correctly, shoots fireballs.
I mean, I could take it. Like if no one else wants it, or no one else could, yeah, I'd be okay with keeping it.
I'm not
Just for
really a
safety.
fire person. per
Oh,
se.
I'm definitely a fire person.
Yeah.
It's a bit loud and flashy for my liking.
I mean, if no one else wants it, if no one else wants to take it,
I will just pass it to Lucius.
Yes! Oh, I'm so going to use this one day.
Do you have anything else, Star?
The only other thing I have is, I believe we worked out as 2,000 gold pieces worth of gems.
Cool.
Now, while we're here, we can either pass them about evenly, or one person looks after them, or what?
Well, I do actually have a thought, because now I have the ability to cast this great spell that can potentially bring people back to life if they die, and while...
Wait, do you mean actually back to life, or
Yes,
more
like
rotten
real...
corpse stuff?
No,
Oh.
real life. Like, they come back the same
He's
as they were
real?
before. He's not really alive, though.
He's kind of breathing.
Listen, can he not sit next to me?
I mean, if you don't want him sitting
I
next to
don't
you.
really. He kind of smells.
I was wondering what the decay smell was.
Anyway, so no, it's like bring people really back to life, not like undead and stuff like that. But it's expensive.
How expensive are we
Like
talking?
diamonds expensive.
So we should probably keep those in reserve,
So
just
I
in
was
case
thinking, you know, maybe
someone dies.
we hold on to the gems, or at least some of them, just in case, because it's sort of a time-sensitive thing. Like it has to happen right away. So yeah,
And I mean,
Well,
just throwing
if
that out
that's
there.
the case, do you want to look after the gems then, if you're the one that needs them for the spells?
Sure, yeah.
It's probably a good idea.
Alright.
It should be easy enough to find other barter out in the wilds. I can take anyone else if they want sometime soon.
Alright.
I'll just hand 2,000 gold pieces worth of gems to Den. It's like there are some really pretty ones I just sort of look at quickly. I was like, ooh, before passing them over, but
Okay. So you guys divide up your loot and gem. That Den you're holding on to the gems.
Yay.
And I'll say for the purpose of this too, because it's not just 2,000 gold in diamonds. That there are 2 diamonds within that encompass about 600 gold pieces worth of the
Okay.
value of that. So essentially, you have 1,400 gold worth of gems and doodads and stuff, and then 2 diamonds worth of 600
Cool.
total.
I also have this ring that I found. Ring of protection.
Well, I mean, I'm not the most armored of anyone. But if anyone else needs it more than I do, I don't really get hit all that often. But when people do swing at me, well, they hit.
Well, I tend to avoid being in front of things, but when I'm stabbing things in the kidneys or back of the knee or whatever I can reach, things tend to get annoyed with me.
As you would if you were being stabbed in the kidney.
Yeah, I would.
So, I mean, you
want
can.
it?
Yeah, you probably need it more than I do.
Alright, I'll give the ring to Star. Can have that. And the flail.
I highly doubt you're going to give that away.
Nope. Nope.
Are you sure? Because I could really use it, with all the
I want
close
to
quarters
see-
combat
okay,
I'm in.
here we go. I hand over the flail to Sadell. I want to see you swing it.
He backs up. Lucius backs up.
Swing it at the zombie. Okay. Swing it at me. I'll hold up my shield and I'll say, go, swing at me.
Oh god. Okay, yep, I'll swing the flail.
Okay. Just roll. Are you proficient in martial weapons?
No, just simple.
Okay. So just roll a d20 and add your strength. So just roll a strength check.
This is not going to go well.
Shh.
15.
15. Okay, that's actually pretty solid. But you have your shield up, then, right? So you take the flail, kind of hold a hand, you whack, kind of swinging wide over and towards the shield, and you make contact with the shield. Not able to get through a defense. This is not the most solid hit that you've felt, Den, but it's there, and kind of you feel your shield vibrate for a second. This loud like clang that echoes throughout the room. Yeah.
Whoa. That's pretty good.
That was actually really good.
Oh. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Well, we know you can aim.
Yeah. Well, I'll stick with my thunder cannon though. Thank you, and I hand it back to her.
Cool.
It's your turn, then. Hit him. No.
I do like a fake like half swing.
No!
Just get it.
Someone's breathing in the mic.
The classic thought you were gonna get hit by a flail, but didn't prank.
It's a good one. All right. So is everybody going to sleep now? I think we've had this moment of levity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lil like woke up from a nap for 20 minutes to like come get loot and then just goes back to bed.
Yeah.
It's been a rough couple of days, guys. I keep getting hit in the head. It's not fun.
Yeah, everything sort of fades to quiet as you all get your rest, with only the sound of the gurgling undead gnoll to lull you all to sleep. You all wake the next day, fully rested, and
Can
ready.
I attune to the flail?
You can, if you wish.
I
All
do
right.
wish.
So you take the flail in your hand, sort of apprehensive, knowing the kind of nature of this construction. You look down at the chain coming off of this black wooden pommel that's connected to the cluster of skulls at the base of it. Each one with kind of spikes coming off. It's this kind of horrible looking weapon, and as you focus on it and reach that point of connection, there's this sort of kind of pull towards it, and you feel this pulse sort of run up your arms and this power whelm through you. And as the flail sort of hums in your hands, you feel this battle frenzy, this adrenaline rush pulse through your body. you feel the urge to hit something really hard with this thing. And you know that you gotta fight something whenever you can. So, you are affected, since you are aware of this from the identify spell. You are cursed by this flail while you're attuned to it. For those of the people that weren't around last time, didn't stick around to see that. So you gain the flaw on the card, and yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
Savannah is so happy right now.
It's so sick.
Yeah, and just for clarification too, the curse remains even when you are not attuned to it. So if you drop attunement to do anything else, that's gonna stay.
Okay.
All right.
I sling it over my back with my shield. Let's go.
As we wake up and Din is off doing, well, everyone is off doing her own thing. Lucius looks around, kind of looks at everyone and goes, all right, well, this might be weird. And then uses one charge of his boots to see what it does.
Okay. So you you focus, tapping your boot on the ground. As you do, you see everything around you, so like the coloration around you shifts. Everything grows kind of light, or this black and blue almost. Everything kind of has this blue ethereal shade. It kind of like Frodo in Lord of the Rings, kind of putting on the ring, entering the wraith dimension. You sort of have that view. Everything kind of looks smoky and ethereal around you.
Is there a big eye behind me?
There isn't, no. Luckily. But everything shifts, and the rest of you, are you doing this by yourself?
Yo, yeah.
Okay, so everything is just sort of blue and kind of glowing around you.
Can I walk over to a chair and try to pick it up, see if I can interact with anything?
You go over to place your hands on the chair, and they just pass through them. And within a few seconds, after about 6 seconds or so, it fades.
That's going to be interesting. Okay. And then he just walks out into the other room.
All right.
Good morning.
Hello. Oh god, you have the flail. That's going to be... You're going to be even more scary than you already are.
Yeah, she's standing there, and she has the flail on her belt, and the 3 skulls are just kind of clanking against each other at the end of the chains, which are rattling ominously.
Yeah, lightning from the sky, flail of death, tattoos. You can go first. Every time we go through a doorway, you got this. I've got your back. I've got your back.
So, should we talk about what we're gonna do now?
It's probably a good idea.
Well, are we going to your hometown? Or Watertown? Or whatever it is?
You mean
Yes.
the pirate city?
It's called Watertown, where I'm from.
If I
Yes.
remembered correctly, the people are coming to close the portal.
Yeah, but
then we're going to Pirate City.
but they
we're
said
going
that
to
it
your
would be...
home.
Well, they said it would be weeks before they got there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. And I mean, the thing about it is that they don't really need us to do that. They're sort of really cool and strong. And if we were like, yeah, we're gonna help, they would be like, ha! And laugh. But so, they don't need us to do that. So then I guess my question is, shall we just go? Well, I guess we've got to get a ship, which I have some thoughts about.
Are you going to steal one?
No, I was just gonna
Damn it, I wanted to steal a ship.
call my captain and say, hey, could you maybe send someone to pick us up?
Fine, you want to do it the easy way? It's fine, whatever.
But I don't want to do that and, have them be on their way if we're not ready to sort of head towards the coast and go.
Well, before we go anywhere, I would like to visit my home quickly. I mean, it's a few weeks' travel from here, but we should be able to follow the rivers along.
If we take the prince, we can just poof.
Given some people's attitudes, that's not the best idea.
Well, I mean, as long as we show up outside of the city. If we show up in the middle of the city, it might be a problem.
Yeah, we won't do that again.
We're not going to do that again.
Unless the prince knows exactly where we're going, we will probably appear just above some of the worst briar patches I've ever seen.
So, let's not do that.
Oh, we could still take him.
We could if he wants to come along.
He could poof us back. It's convenient.
Yeah.
Alright.
First, we have to go find him.
He'll show up.
I mean, he likes you. Can't you just be like...
Dude, you keep saying that and I'm not getting it.
You're not getting what?
I don't think he likes me that much.
I'm sure he adores you.
I mean, not in the... You know what? Never mind. He likes you.
No, I don't understand what you're saying.
I know.
I don't. It's like you speak in a different language.
And then, he starts speaking a different language just to, throw her off.
Yeah, I understand exactly the same as I did a minute ago.
Then you're perfectly fine. It's okay.
Just gonna say in Tabaxi to Sadel, what are they talking about?
He's going to say back in broken Tabaxi, I understand you.
I start speaking in Tabaxi as fast as I possibly can while talking to Sadel.
I have to...
And I just stand there and just...
At which point you guys hear a knock at the door.
See? I told you. You talk about him and he shows up.
I go open the door.
It is not the prince standing there.
Damn it! Wrong again!
It's Storm. He has his robes on instead of the armor that he did the day before, and he looks aside and says, "Can we speak for a moment?"
Yeah.
Of course.
He walks in, lets you close the door behind him, says, "I trust you're doing well."
We had a rather lovely day of relaxation, rest, recuperation.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm here to inform you of some troubling news that hasn't quite made its way to everyone yet. It appears that there's been a bit of a disruption within the ziggurat here, and some artifacts have gone missing. Now, I wouldn't trouble outsiders with this, typically, but we had an emergency meeting of sorts the other night. Some powerful figures arrived to inform us of a disruption they had had. Not something that the common people know. They have sort of warned of a group of interlopers which had interrupted some affairs of theirs and the Tabaxi people by association. Now, the council is concerned at these rumors. And I know that you have done many good works for the people of this country and have helped in many ways. Are you familiar at all with what I'm talking about? Do you have any idea of these things I speak of? Good. If you do hear anything, and I would be on your guard, it's going to be difficult in the coming weeks for outsiders to be trusted within these borders. There may be some investigations. There may be some suspicions. From the description of those that were involved in the incident given by the messengers, it seems as though the people involved were outsiders, described as one of demonic bloodline, one of blue skin, another that was small, childlike stature, another that appeared to be elven, and one of our own, as well as one that wielded a strange weapon, strings and some sort of axe. Now, I don't know who these people might be, and the council is being coerced into beginning an investigation soon. If we do not bring these outsiders to them, to these individuals that have sought justice for what has been done, unfortunate things may befall our city. So if I were to be speaking with those people and understanding what they have done for us, and perhaps understanding after taking what they have taken of the situation we may be in, that 1,000 Steps might not be a safe place for them currently.
Can I inside check this guy?
Sure.
$22.
Okay.
I nat 20'd with a 25.
Okay. Normally you have to ask before you roll it, but I'll
Oh,
it after that.
Sorry. I was like, me too.
Okay, I didn't hear it or see it. That's fine. It's okay though. I would let you roll it anyway. But yeah, the two of you kind of gain some insight. I mean, he's not hard to read. It's pretty obvious at this point. I mean, he clearly knows what you guys did and what you guys took.
So he's basically, he knows it's us and we're just dancing around this whole thing.
Yes.
Okay.
But he seems genuine in his. Oh, sorry. He seems genuine in his intent that he's trying to help.
So what you're saying is, if we know who these people are, we might want to let them know that the city itself might not be safe for them to come back.
Perhaps that would be good to tell them. I mean, this group, the ones that hold such power here, they are very powerful. They have many means to track people down. These jungles are not unfamiliar to them. Part of the reason they've held this power for so long is out of fear and out of the danger they pose to us and the debts that we owe to them.
Well, it's good for you to let everyone know who is not a tabaxi that the city itself might not be the best place for everyone.
Thank you for warning us of these dangerous individuals. If we learn anything, we'll be sure to let you or the council know.
I would also advise that if you do speak with these people, that if they leave, as they should, for their own safety, that they possibly return or leave the things that they've taken, so that they may be returned to their proper place.
Well, if we hear anything about it, we'll let the council know.
And Star, is it? Yes?
Yes.
You asked about the marked tabaxi of these rumors. I cannot speak to such things directly. I don't know what these rumors are, or if they are true. But I would tell you that we of the council, and those that have been granted this authority by the tribes we represent, make choices that we do and uphold the traditions that we have for the good of the many, even if it means endangering or sacrificing the few. And it is not a decision that we make lightly, or that any person in a position of power makes lightly. But sometimes you have no other option. I don't know if this helps, but I also wanted to come here to thank you all for what you've done. You've been a great service to our nation and to our way of life here. We live another day in comfort in the city because of the actions of you, and we thank you for it. Hopefully, once all these suspicions have died down, outsiders may be free to walk unrestrained again, and knowing that you all may have to leave soon for your own reasons, you can return in safety and in comfort, knowing that you are welcome within 1,000 steps whenever you wish.
Your time. Thank you for your time, Storm. It was great to see you again.
You as well. I'll leave you all to it then. Thank you for your time. And he leaves the room.
Sure, that went well.
I was kind of half expecting assassins to come, and it's not important. Anyway, we need to. As I said, I quite like to visit my home village before we actually leave Graldar. So if there's anything we may need to take care of, we may need to discuss where we want to go or what we want to do with some things. I'm sure we might need to go get some supplies for our journey. You never know where we might have to go in the city.
I mean, city itself is maybe lost some of its charm. We have not yet seen the country as a whole. I think it's time to explore a little bit.
I believe the word I'm looking for is rural. I don't think you've seen rural life in Graldar yet.
No. But if it is anything like you yourself and the people of the city, it should be fun. We should probably get going soon, though.
I'm gonna go ahead and sort of contact my captain and just see if maybe they can start sending a ship our way. Because we sort of pissed off the people that brought us here, and I don't really know how else we're gonna leave.
Okay, so you're sending one to your captain.
Captain, my captain.
Okay.
And while she's doing that, and while we still have some time, I would like to write a letter back home.
Okay.
For my wife.
Are you just beginning? So you're beginning to write the letter so that the next place you have to deliver it, you can leave it there Because you can't.
Yeah.
There isn't exactly like a postal service here, but
Mhm.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
just
fine.
to go ahead and write it so that way the next chance I get to send it, I can.
Sounds good. Makes sense. She probably wants to hear from you.
Yeah.
Den, what exactly are you saying in your message?
Please.
Help us!
Help! I'll do sending spell to the big boss, I guess, to Captain Windwalker, and just say it's fish, still alive. Lots has happened. Please, if you can, send someone to pick me up in Graldar. Don't have a way off this rock. Need to go to Port Onrix.
Okay. There's a pause, and you hear the voice in return. Trying to do this in 25 words.
No.
Who?
New phone, who dis? She responds, glad you're alive. Wasn't sure what happened. 2 months away. Can you wait?
Two months.
Does she repeat the message to any of us, or?
Did I have any more words?
Probably.
Yeah, you did. You had like 10 words left.
Okay.
Because I counted.
Let's see. She also says, north of Valeforge, lots happening. Apologies.
At least she didn't ignore me. Yeah, so... Star, how long did you say it took to get to your home?
If Star actually sat and thought about it for 30 seconds, like, how long would it be to get to, like, first travel to Sharpthorn, then to travel for one of the coastlines?
To get to your village, like 3 days, 4 days, somewhere around there. Your village is like just on the edge of the caldera. It's not that.
Oh,
far.
okay. Sorry, I thought it was farther away.
Yeah, yours isn't too far away. Because you're part of the shark, or you're part of the Swain Tree clan,
Yeah.
which kind of consists in this caldera.
Okay.
You're just kind of towards the edge of it. So yeah, no, yours isn't that far away at all.
Well, 3 or 4 days, depending on our speed. From there, if we want to go look at anything else on Graldar, then more weeks of travel.
And then how long back to the coast?
Depends whether we go north, south, west.
Well, they'll need a landmark.
Oh, you remember the Storm's Tower I told you about? If they can have telescopes or something, they should be able to see the top of the tower and the weather surrounding it.
Okay. Looks like we're in for some travelling. Because unless we find another way off this place, they're 2 months out.
If we keep moving through Graldar, I think it may reduce our chances of being found slightly. If whatever's beyond that portal really does know its way around the jungles, though, we'll be in for a good few fights.
How far away is the tower from here?
The tower, I believe it's just south of Fort Harrington.
So a few weeks to get there? By foot, at least?
A few weeks, I guess altogether we're looking at just over or just under a couple months travel, depending on speed, delays.
It'd probably take you. Let's see.
Because it took, what, 3 weeks to get from Fort Harrington to 1,000 Steps? Or it took longer than that?
Well, bear in mind there are 7 weeks in a month.
That's true.
So you're talking 14 weeks.
Yeah.
And it took you guys from Fort Harrington to here to Graldar. Took 1, 2, 3. That's not what I wanted. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 8 weeks. So you'd be like
A month and a week.
Yeah.
Well, it took a month to get from, just over a month, to get from Fort Harrington to here. If we spend a few days getting to your city, maybe spend a day or two there, and then go from there to the tower, we might be there at around the time. I mean, going through the jungle, you never know what's going to happen. We could go faster, we could go slower.
From what I know of the tower, there's very likely some magical effect around it. Could very well be linked to whatever's, again, beyond that breach, but at the same time, there might be more answers or clues there for what we can do.
Well, then I think that's what we should do. Spend a few days going to your city or your town? City?
It's a small fishing village.
Oh, in your village. Go there. Let you spend some time there. Maybe find some things out, ask questions, and then head to the tower. If we get there early, we could search around. If we get there a little later, then they'll already be there and we can go. And we won't be anywhere where people might want to send assassins to kill us in our sleep.
And also, a few days of rest might do some of us some good.
I mean, rest for... Yes, Lil especially needs the rest. A quaint fishing village would be grand for that.
There are 2 individuals who can... Well, my mother's one of the best cooks on the island. From what I know, she used to live in 1,000 Steps and was very popular. There's Don, who is the chieftain of the village. He will definitely be able to look after us if he hasn't blamed me for something else while I've been gone that may have happened. There's also Leaf, my mentor. It'll be nice to catch up with him. Oh, and maybe Crazy Old Bird will be there again.
Sounds good to me.
I'll try to
Sounds good.
contact Windwalker one more time and just try to give him the landmark of the tower, kind of where it is and where we're gonna be. And to also tell her thank you for not forgetting about me.
Okay. You send the message, and you hear after a few moments, you hear a response. It says, "All right, we'll be there. See you then."
Okay.
Okay, thanks, bye.
That's pretty much what that was.
That's how she is.
So, 2 questions, guys. I mean, I think I know the answer to one, but we're gonna get the prince, right? He's coming with us? Or are we leaving him here? Because that whole outsider comment doesn't really extend to him, but he is kind of an outsider, too.
If
mean-
we could
I mean-
surreptitiously get him a message to let him know our plan at least. For certain reasons, we may not be welcome on Dolkir from what I understand, or it may not be the best idea to travel there with him.
But I mean, they also did say that one of the interlopers was of demonic blood, so we kind of look alike.
Also,
Yeah,
we told him he could come with us to see the ships and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
He sounded really excited about the pirate city.
If we leave him and go to the pirate city, he's probably going to kill us all.
The full wrath of the Ondaki army falls down on our heads.
Yeah, exactly.
Then can you
Okay.
cast that spell again? I can get a message to him in a different way if you want.
I can do it one more time today.
He does just say like down the hall.
Yeah, we could just go like knock on the door first, see if maybe he's in there.
Why do you guys always like use magic for things? He's right there. You could literally go just walk down. You know, I'm going to go walk down.
You guys are all just laying around like, oh, too lazy to get up.
Kids
up?
these days.
Okay, you got there's somebody going down to get the prince. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Lucius, you go down, knock at the door. You hear some shuffling from within, and the door opens. You see the prince in like what you assume to be some like night robes or something. Kind of pull to the front. He's kind of rubbing his eyes, looks exhausted. His hair is like pulled back in a ponytail, and he opens the door and says, "Good
Really?
morning."
Really? You sleep this late? The prince of the people sleep this late into the day?
It's been a busy few weeks. Do you need anything?
Yes, we need a lot of things. We were just actually going to tell you that we're about to leave, and if you want to go to the pirate city with us, you better get all of your stuff. Because things in the city, not so good for us right now. Or for certain people.
Hold on, let me get dressed. And he closes the door. You hear some shuffling inside. For probably about 5 minutes, you actually kind of get a little irritated as you just stand there outside the door as he's getting ready. You hear the blow dryer turning on, the shower turning. No, it's probably about 5 minutes past. He comes back out, looking a little disheveled, but more in his normal robes and regalia.
Do you need coffee, Your Grace?
No, I'll get that later. Go ahead, Noel. I'll follow you.
Go back to the room.
Lucius comes back with the prince.
I got them. See, it's simple.
I'm saying.
It's 5 minutes.
Yawning a bit. Good morning, everyone. Lucius here says you're leaving?
Yeah.
Leaving, getting kicked out. You know, it all depends on how you take it.
No. Well, so you're heading to Port Onyx right now?
I mean, we've got a couple of stops to make along the way, because it takes a bit for the ship to get here, but yeah, essentially they're gonna swing by and pick us up.
Oh, well, that'll be quite a journey for you. Well, however you wish to travel is fine by me. I can't commit to a journey that long, though. If you're going to be sailing from here to Port Onyx, that's a far way to travel, and I have responsibilities I have to get back to. I could try to get you there much faster, but...
I mean, we could all die in the process of you getting us there.
Perhaps.
Because you've never been there, right?
No.
And you remember the last time you tried to get somewhere that you've never been.
It has about like a 50% chance of working.
50% chance of us being completely and utterly destroyed.
And about half of that chance is, well, 50% chance of working, and half the time, even if we get there, you might have a few bumps and bruises along the way.
Bumps and bruises, he said. Does he not remember
Or being a pancake.
Well, yeah, the 200-foot drop out of thin air?
Well, you've been able to deal with the drop, and that seems like something that you can take care of rather easily.
I mean, yes, I'm pretty amazing, but I would rather not do it.
I mean, if you don't want to go...
I would very much like to go, but I cannot go if you're traveling by ship. It just isn't going to work for me, unfortunately.
You royals and your need to be good at everything.
I understand. It probably wouldn't be good for me to go anyway. I needed to negotiate and resolve the situation in the best way possible.
Prince, before we have to part ways, it's been great getting to know you. But it's been found out that things may have been mislaid within the city. Warnings may have been made to maybe return certain things we may have borrowed from the libraries and such as well before we leave, as apparently retribution can be mean for just reading a few books for too long.
Well, that is unfortunate. I gathered they would learn soon enough what was happening here. But as long as he looks to you, Dan, as your people can resolve the situation, then we should be all right.
With how our plans are going, we'll still be here for 2 months to hopefully see everything through.
I could help you a bit. If I can't get you to Port Onrix directly, but I could get you close if that's what you wanted.
We have plans to travel still on Graldar to get to somewhere I'd quite like to visit myself quickly, and the somewhere we'll hope to be safe and be able to get on our ship without issue.
All right, then. That is your choice. Well, I guess I wish you best of luck on your journey, and may our paths cross again.
If you change your mind, you know how to find us.
That I do, I believe. I'll let you know if I'll be in contact, and I'll see you whenever your journey concludes. All right. Best of luck in your travels. It's been a pleasure meeting all of you.
It was nice getting to know some more people in that big wide world I'd heard nothing about.
Yeah, I guess it was good to know you.
And if you ever find yourselves in Ondak here.
Hopefully I won't be beheaded on sight.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully.
You all welcome with it. You all are welcome within the city. I'll make sure of it.
Keep
all
safe.
Right. You as well. Well, goodbye then. He kind of awkwardly stands there for a moment and then leaves the room, heading back down the hall.
You know, I never expected it, but I think I'm going to miss him a little bit.
My sister's gonna be so disappointed.
Are you going to be disappointed?
Nah. I mean, I like him, but, you know.
Interesting. Okay.
Why are you being so weird?
What?
No,
Did I say
no, we're having a talk right now. What is this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is it just me? I look at everyone else. Is he being weird?
I mean, I'm always weird. I literally have an animated shadow.
Sadell, you can't tell a lie.
Sure I can.
No. What is happening?
Well, I think he's implying that, you and the prince are in cahoots with each other.
Is that Elvish?
You found me out. My dastardly plan has been found out.
I don't understand what that
Well,
means.
He thinks you and the prince would make a good couple.
Oh.
I mean, not a good couple in that way. I'm just saying that.
Or maybe perhaps that you like each other.
Why would you say it like that? That is creepier than anything you've ever said.
Yeah. Not really my type.
You can't really tell a lie, can you? You
can't.
could have.
I told
It
you.
would have been completely simple for you to just be like, I have no idea what he's talking about. You can't. You literally can't do it.
Yeah, no, Prince, not my type.
How did? Why?
Oh.
Why can you not? Are you just like really bad at it, or is it like an actual you cannot do it?
I've just always been really bad at it.
He's
It's
too
good to know.
nice.
So, Sada, and the thoughts of us getting out and getting our new adventure pretty quickly, as I'm sure everyone's very eager to do, perhaps we should think about ensuring all our business in the city is concluded.
Yes.
Who has business in the city? Mister, I cannot tell a lie. Do you have business in the city?
Well, does anyone have anything they think we should definitely return to return to where it should be, make sure things are on their shelves properly?
Well, I mean, we should definitely clean up the place before we leave.
I think we need to return what we checked out of the super secret library.
You guys are really bad at this.
Couldn't we just like leave him somewhere?
I mean,
Well, that's what I was going to do.
You
I just
dropped
need.
them and they rolled under the bed. No one
I
stole
was
them.
just going to make sure they were left somewhere surreptitious, where they'll definitely be found eventually. But I prefer that to not be right in our rooms, maybe
Or-
somewhere just in the zig. Or
yes.
We could leave him with the zombie. And leave the
that's
zombie
actually a really good idea.
in front of the ziggurat
Just like send him.
and send him off.
It's a
I
really
can make
good
it,
idea.
I can make it invisible for an hour, so it'll appear anywhere within the city.
We're doing this.
This is the plan.
This is the plan. We're going to load him up, turn him invisible, and let him loose, and just walk for an hour. And then whenever the hour gets up, it'll be fine.
I would just like to say I immediately regret saying that.
He'll be like the hero of the city.
A gnoll finds the thing that has been lost, that should not have been found.
World peace.
World peace. We have figured out generations. We've stopped generations of fighting.
He
Just
thought
us.
we were gonna say that's a terrible idea.
He did.
That's a
But this is-
great idea.
It's a beautiful idea.
Do we have
So that's what we're
anything else we need to do first?
We can quite easily get food and water while we're on the way. I'm sure we all have pack rations as well.
Well, I mean, without Barb, we do not have any oatcakes.
Oh no. No
What
oatcakes.
a shame.
You guys say that like it's not horrible. It is horrible. You know how many oatcakes that woman had? She had 100.
I mean, the oatcakes are in the bag of holding, which Sato
Mhm.
has. She doesn't have any oatcakes. You guys do.
Oh, she's going to be so pissed when she realizes that she has no oatcakes.
Now she has to come back.
From across the jungle, we just hear a no.
Anything else we need to do? I
The
can.
saddest plucking of a lute comes across the wind.
Like, if it really comes to it, I can create fresh water and things like that, and be all right.
Well, I mean, we should, of course, stock up on things that we can and then leave.
We can't have the zombie following us while we're stocking up, and I can only keep it invisible for an hour.
And
Well,
are we gonna be able to go shopping in this city? Cause Storm made it sound like that anybody matching that description, like there's a, oh, I don't know, let's go with these letters, APB out for us.
how did you come up with those
Those are
letters?
some
Like,
good letters.
why? Like, they fit just perfectly, and
It
I don't
just
understand it.
I got knocked in the head a couple of times now lately, and stuff's
You're good
just
at
coming to me.
You're good at
Sounds
this.
right. It does.
It does. It sounds really
it
like
works.
APB. It works.
APB.
I like it. I like it.
Is that in
Childish.
halfling?
I think it is.
It's interesting. So, well, I mean, I could stay here while you guys do some stuff and keep him occupied. I mean, he's not literally going anywhere, but
So, what is it that we need, though?
All we really need is rations, water, and we're only going to be in the wild for 4 days, where there'll be an abundance of food at least.
And I mean, I can make us water, so if you don't want to pay for it.
I would prefer to make our journey very quickly.
So I think, we got the oat cakes and we got Den who can help us stay hydrated. I think we can go. I don't really want to stay here anymore. I'm kind of worried.
Well, should we stuff something down our new pet's throat and get going?
Could you rephrase that just a little bit,
I thought
please?
we were just gonna let him hold them.
like take the bedding from the sheets, wrap all the stuff in it, hang it, and then send them off. Why would you pick that terminology put together in that way?
Well, I was thinking more like we could feed them to it. The tabaxi will definitely, kill it. It's a random undead gnoll walking around the city.
I'm pretty sure they're going to kill him anyway.
Well, yes, but this way they have a bit of a scavenger hunt.
This plan got weird.
Why did you make this weird? How? How did you make it this weird?
Lil just starts running and grabbing the sheet and creating a hobo pack for him.
Okay, I just have to... One thing. October APB Arcane Patrol broadcast is a fantastic term for APB.
We're not.
Congratulations.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Continue. Sean is going to murder everyone.
All right, so you guys are taking the zombie and you are loading it up with the crystals that you took, the stone speaker crystals, and or the singing stone crystals, and you are wrapping them in a bag, slinging it over the zombie's neck, probably, and just telling him to just walk. Right?
I'm turning him invisible as well.
Okay, turn invisible, just telling him to walk.
Wait, I pin a note to him that says, "Sorry."
Okay.
In Aquan.
No! In Common. Which is the only other language I speak.
Gotcha. Yeah, and
Sorry.
that's my the command is just one of those walk for an hour.
Okay.
And it's just one of those, that's all you do.
I just
walk for an hour.
poke it as we tell it to leave.
Okay. And as the invisible zombie sort of shambles away, you all begin making your way down the steps, sort of near it, as you make your way outside of the city. There's a moment where you hear kind of like a begins to fall down the steps, not being the most graceful of creatures. But
Probably should have done that after we got down the steps.
You even kind of hear some shouts of surprise as people begin to bump into the invisible thing that's just walking through the city. And you begin making your way outside the city walls and heading to the northwest towards Star's hometown. So as you all have left the city and begun your journey to the north, heading towards Sharpthorn, Star's home village. Star, you know the way pretty well, so you're able to navigate people there without too much of an issue. You all travel for the next few days, about 3.5 days to get there. So by the end of the third, or by the halfway through the fourth day of travel, as you push through the underbrush and make your way down a ravine near the edge of the World Child's Cradle, this massive caldera, you begin veering towards the Pass of the Rising Sun, towards the western shores of Graudar. As you do, you see that this area is kind of densely coated or densely packed with thick bramble patches. that sort of permeate the area, and Star, you knowing this area a little better, sort of navigate and show people where to go and follow these pathways through it, this very treacherous jungle terrain. After about a few hours of moving through these patches, it opens up and to a semi-clearing at the center of it, and you see nestled in this clearing with a few trees kind of interspaced throughout, a small village nestled just at the edge of this caldera. Looks to be tabaxi based on the other ones that you guys have seen before. A few dozen huts, a river moving through it, kind of twisting between the bramble patches. You can see a few boats moored at the rivers and some fish drying out in the noonday sun, and some common tabaxi folk making their way to and from their daily chores.
Well, I think first stop, unless someone else decides to stop us, would be home.
Okay. Star, you make your way, knowing the direction, to a moderately sized hut towards the edge of the village, set up on stilts like the rest of them, with a small staircase leading up to the front entryway, which is closed with a waving the scrap of linen cloth that kind of flaps in the doorway. There are some other bits of clothes and other items hung out on lines throughout or outside the building. And from within, you can hear a kind of a faint humming of familiar your mother's, kind of as she making her way doing her chores inside. You can hear kind of a whistle and a hum emanating out from within.
I just sort of knock on the door frame as I push the curtain aside. Hello?
You walk in, and you can see the slightly hunched walk of your familiar frame, as your mother is kind of tending to some fish that are on the counter on the far side of the hut. She jumps as you knock on the door and enter, waving a knife in hand, and as you turn towards her, she goes, "Who's there? Star?
It's been a while.
Where have you been?"
I remember when I said I was going to travel around a bit. I may have gone across the ocean for a little while.
You said you'd be gone for a few months. It's been years. And then you just walk in here like nothing is wrong.
I asked Bird to give you my letter, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and I expected you to show up within a few days. And then weeks later, here you are.
You know, when I said I wanted to travel, I didn't just mean growl that. I said I wanted to go see everything else.
I don't know what I'm going to do with you. She takes the knife and just kind of stabs it into the table next to the fish. Says, come here. And she
give her a hug.
She gives you a hug and backs up and looks you over. Says, well, you look good. She looks past you and sees the gathering of people outside her front door, and she says, and you brought guests. Unannounced. Typical. Well, come in, all of you.
As they come in, I do introduce everyone. These are my friends Lucius, Den, Sadel, and Lil.
Pleasure to meet all of you. I probably won't remember your names, but it's good to have you in my home, and you are welcome to what little I have here.
It is so good to be in your home, but I don't think Star introduced you. What is your name?
That is much like him to not do proper introductions. My name is Jungle's Bounty. You may call me Jungle or whatever you wish.
Kenneth leans into Star. Do I say like Miss Bounty or just Jungle? What is the proper term for Tabaxi? Especially Tabaxi elders.
Just Jungle will be fine.
Good enough, thank you.
Are you all hungry? I have some fish that I was preparing for dinner. I don't have much, but I have some to share.
If you want, we can go catch some more. It will be no bother.
I suppose you probably haven't done an honest day's work in some time, so you're welcome to try.
I was
Also-
taught perfectly well by Leaf and Bird to do. I can't even hold that one up.
No one's ever
Yeah.
really asked, but I'm sort of really good at fish.
She looks you over. We'll see about that then. Well, fine. You all do what you wish. If you wish to catch some more for dinner, then that's fine, but best of luck to you. I know these waters better than anyone, and I had a poor time today.
That seems to be a challenge then.
Challenge accepted. Let's go. Fishing
Before
quest.
we go, have you seen Leaf or Snakes maybe? Does Dawn still around?
I haven't seen Snake for a while. She left around the same time you did, shortly after. Said that she wasn't going to let you one-up her. Let's see. Bird obviously came through a few weeks ago and then left just as quickly. Leaf is here. He was out scavenging today. Should be back by now, I would assume, unless something finally ate him. And, well, Dawn should be around. The crotchety old man is probably yelling at kids or something nearby.
His favorite pastime.
Hmm.
Has anyone beaten my record for most scaldings in one day yet?
No, not as far as I'm aware yet, though. There are some promising new young ones around the village.
Give me 5 minutes with them.
Well, I'll start getting dinner prepared then.
Is there anything else you would like us to get while we're out fishing? Anything you need from the market, maybe?
Not that I can think of.
We'll be back soon. It's good to finally be able to see you again.
Hopefully you stick around for a little bit this time, or at least don't stay away for so long. I don't have my hopes up, though.
I will try my best.
All right. So as she continues kind of butchering the fish and gutting them, you guys leave the hut, and are you heading over to the river to try your luck at fishing? You make your way through the village, and you see a few kind of groups of young tabaxi cubs kind of scampering around, playing with each other. You see some of the other sort of adults in the village tending to their needs. I mean, it's a pretty common place. There's not a lot of excitement here. People either tending to mending clothing or weaving baskets and other necessities, or gutting fish and butchering other animals from the day's hunt. You all make your way over to the river, where you see the boats, some of the small fishing boats moored there, and a few nets and spears kind of stored nearby.
Okay, then. Do your thing.
Okay, I get a net.
Okay.
I'll ditch my armor for this.
Okay.
I'm gonna net. And I'm gonna run and jump in. Very gracefully diving into the water. So as
Okay.
not to disturb it.
So you pull off your armor, grab the net, and then rush over the water and just jump and splash down into the murky jungle river.
And I'm gonna try to coax some fish into my net.
So you're gonna try to persuade some fish to be.
Well, not like persuade them, but I can talk to fish. So
Here,
I'm going
fishy,
to,
fishy, fishy, fishy.
like, call them towards me and then snag them. That's
so you're
how
like
Triton.
Aqua Woman.
This is how Triton fish in my headcanon.
Okay.
Here, fishy, 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 fishy.
So go ahead and make, since you're coaxing them, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Awesome. Do I get advantage because
No, you
I
get-
can talk to fish?
You get to make it because you talk to fish.
16.
16. Fish are not too difficult to persuade if you know how. You jump in the water, kind of hold out the net, and drapes in front of you, and you begin to create the series of noises using some of the residual like Triton vocal cords to make project some of those noises underwater. As you do, you see some of the jungle fish or these river fish that are swimming around, kind of face towards you, and then slowly begin to make their way towards the net. As they approach, they're fairly large size. It's a pretty healthy river. You hold the net there for a moment, and then go to snag them. Now have you make an attack roll with the net using it. You have advantage because they're entranced by you.
Is that with strength?
Yeah, it's
Just
strength.
like a
I think-
regular
Are you
attack?
proficient in martial weapons?
I'm proficient in literally everything.
Okay, then yeah.
Armor and weapons, yeah.
Strength plus proficiency, and you get advantage.
Okay. So that's gonna be a +6, I think. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna roll with my Warhammer because it's the same number.
That's fine.
20.
20. All right, that's pretty good. You take the net and with a swift motion, wrap up the 3 large-sized fish in front of you with the net. You feel them kind of struggling against it, trying to break free of it, but they're not strong enough to actually force their way out.
I swim back up.
Okay. Then you see a dark shadow making its way to the surface, and then with a sploosh, you see a bag of fish kind of caught, tangled in this net, go up onto the shore, and then pulls herself out, following it.
That's really impressive.
Yeah.
Please say there are other fishermen watching this right now.
Yeah, a few people at the sound of the splashing had come around out of their huts to watch, and they just see this fish person come jumping out of the water with a bag full of fish.
And please tell me this took all of like 15 seconds.
Yeah, I mean it took about
Like she was like, "Hold on, guys, I'll be right back." Strips of armor, jumps in. 10 seconds later, comes back out with like 3 monster fish. She's
The
like,
longest-
"All right, I'm done."
Yeah, the longest part of it was the 5 minutes it took for her to take off her armor.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
And then after that, jumped in 30 seconds later, came back out.
I went and got the secret lure before I came to the fishing hut so I could win.
Yeah.
Fish!
Well, we've got plenty.
I mean, that'll work.
Told you guys.
I so want to make a really bad comment, but I'm going to keep it to myself.
You're just going to make it anyway in about half an hour.
Oh, you know I am. But I mean, you know, are they cousins? Please don't lightning me.
No. Not all fish are related. And also, I'm not a fish. Alright. I'm a person.
You're a fishy person?
No.
You're just a person.
Yeah, I'm a person.
Alright, that's fine.
I don't even have, like, gills. It's
Wait, Triton don't have gills?
not really.
Huh.
No.
That's weird to me that I just assumed
Yeah,
Triton
well,
had
you have
gills.
horns and a tail. Right.
Anyway, before we head back to my mother, I suppose we should go
he
find...
smacks her with said tail.
Well, I need to go find Dawn quickly. I suppose I'd better let him know I'm back temporarily. You can come with me if you want, or just go drop off the fish.
I'll take these to your mum so they don't start to go.
Spoil.
Yeah, that word.
I'll go with you then.
Alright.
Okay, so you're going to make your way to Dawn's hut.
Yep.
Okay, and who said they were going with him? Everyone, or is that?
Well,
I think I've just got Lucius and Saddle coming with me.
Me and Lil
now.
are gonna take the fish back to Star's mom.
Gotcha. Okay, so
Very proud of my catch.
Because
So,
Star's mother kind of scares Lucius. Just a little.
What? She's so cool.
Oh, she's amazing, but at the same time, I've never had like the mom voice projected at me, and so like when it happens, it's
She
kind of
almost
interesting.
stabbed you.
She did. It was interesting. Does she normally try to stab you, Star?
There was one... No, we'd better not talk about it now. We've got people to go see. Anyway.
let's go.
the three of you make your way, Sadel, Star, and Lucius, make your way towards the center of town to where Star, Dawn, his hut to be. As you make your way there, you hear a voice echoing out and says, "The three of you better stay away from here." And you sort of freeze for a moment as then you see three Tabaxi children go like scampering out away from the house, and you see what looks to be like a couple of rocks being hurled and kind of chucking on the ground, not getting anywhere close to them, but landing like in the dirt nearby. And you hear a familiar voice, the Star echo, and says, "Just hope I don't get my hands on you next time."
I think all the shouting has taken its toll finally. Hey, I might not get yelled at too badly. This is great.
I mean, you almost got stabbed by your mother. I'm like, and she is literally the person who gave birth to you. He's probably going to hit you with a rock.
More than likely, it's happened before.
As you guys round the corner, you see standing at the doorway, the entryway to this hut, there is a rather large Tabaxi man, kind of broad shoulders, a little bit burly, looks kind of a warrior's build, but like with a really rotund sort of pot belly, as a warrior that might have let let his physique fade in years of peace. But
still looks like he could probably take you
Still,
if given the chance.
Sort of like a Robert Baratheon of Tabaxi.
Yes.
Yeah. And he just kind of stands there. He has a wine skin, and he chugs at it a bit, and kind of mutters under his breath, "Damn kids!" and kind of looks like he's turning back into the hut. Sees you all approaching, and looks at you, Star. "Star, is that you?"
It has been a few years, hasn't it? And
What?
yes, it is me.
"Come here, boy, come here," and kind of motions for you to approach.
I approach.
He kind of claps you on the shoulders very hard. You almost feel yourself like pushed into the earth. And he looks you over a bit, kind of inspecting you. He says, "You've grown up pretty good. Glad to see you here. What brings you back to this pisshole of a town?"
I finally back on Graldar itself, and I figured, why not come visit the old homestead a bit and see how things is going, find out what's been going on.
Things are as boring as they always are here. Not much else going on. Have you seen your mother yet?
I've been there. My rest of my companions who are with me have just taken her some more fish for tea. Oh, by the way, these are Lucius and Sarah, my traveling companions from Evrondal. This is one of our town's elders, Dawn soaked in blood.
No, pleasure to meet all of you. Did you say that you're eating at your mother's tonight, that you brought her fish?
Yes.
I'll go with you then. I haven't seen Jungle in some time.
I'm sure there'll be plenty for everyone, I think.
I assume that she's in a good mood if you still have all your fingers and toes. Well, besides that one, he kind of points to the one hand that now is like the robotic hand.
I'm surprised no one else has pointed this out yet.
Your mother might not have noticed yet. I maybe hide it from her. I've seen worse.
I can imagine you probably did worse at some point.
Also true. Though the gnolls that I dismembered did not have such, access to such finery. That's a nice piece of equipment that you have there.
That's actually, speaking of gnolls, me and my friends took down one of their more nasty commanders.
Really?
Gorfang, was it?
Gorfang. You've killed Gorfang.
Yeah, well, I didn't. My friend Denwin did. She kind of turned him into a bloody puddle, but I helped.
I see that your proclivity for storytelling hasn't changed much. He kind of claps you on the shoulder.
No, he's telling the truth.
And you have your friends in on it too. That's impressive.
He's going to love Den. Like when Den shows him the proof, it's going to be fantastic. Actually, but before we go, do you know like what weapon Gorfang usually wielded?
Last time that I was on the front lines, which was many years ago, and the war chieftains of the Gnoll tribes all carried large sort of flail-like creations.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. It's just when you meet Din, it's probably the first thing you're going to notice, but you'll see when you get there.
Your friend speaks strange riddles, and he takes another swig of.
You have no idea.
Hey, how pickled are you right now? We don't want an incident of that time 7 or 8 years ago where we had to drag you back, and then you got violent, and I don't think the well was ever the same.
I've been worse.
That'll do.
Come now, I'm hungry. Sort of pulls you along with him.
There's no way I can resist this guy. I am being dragged.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I didn't think about this. Sato, are you having Dieter follow you around right now, or is he like waiting at the hut?
He's probably following me around. Why not?
Which at that point, probably not noticing it after, clearly being a few too many in his cups, kind of as he's making his way, kind of pushing towards your mother's home, turns over his shoulder and kind of giving a nod to you, Seto, who's been sort of quiet through this exchange, and looks over your shoulder and sees the creature that is behind you and stops for a moment and says, "There is a strange creature following us."
Oh no, that's just Lucius. It's fine.
I'm literally right here. You've been talking to me.
Does anyone else see that? And he points to Dieter.
Yes, that's mine.
Huh. I've never seen something like that before. Are there many of them?
No, well, I made it.
You made it.
Yes.
Is it a child of yours or something? You look elven. Are you not elven?
No, I'm, half elf.
He's
No,
the one who
I
made my hand.
built it, just like I built his hand.
Huh. Interesting. All right, then he takes another drink of the of his wineskin and kind of continues marching forward, swaying from side to side.
I wonder how he would feel if he had two shadows.
Doesn't seem that notice.
Don't, please.
Oh,
The
wait.
last time he got drunk and caused trouble, somehow Sun blamed it on me, and then it got even worse. I was almost exiled from the village that time. I may get into that story later as well.
So what you're telling me is not to cause a ruckus at dinner.
My mother might actually kill me.
I'll have to think on it.
I'd better dart ahead and tell her we're having more company. I'm sure she'll understand.
Did you see the knife that she implanted into the table? I'm pretty sure she's going to understand, but not in a good way.
I hope I'm better with a knife now.
Or at least you're good at dodging.
Or that.
Always remember, I've seen you dodge many things.
Which, as you guys make it back to the to your mother's hut, shortly after Den and Lilibet, you guys had arrived and sort of had to deal with the flabbergasted jungle, who was sort of befuddled by the quantity of fish that you were able to gather in such a short period of time.
I'm like trying to bond with Star's mom.
So as you guys enter, she says, "So you jumped in the river and just asked the fish to get in the net?"
Yeah, it's like when you've got the fins and stuff, they sort of trust you. Like, it's kind of shady.
So
But
if
it
I were to
works.
if I just put some leaves on the side of my head so that I looked more like you, then I could just speak with the fish and they would come to me.
Well, I mean, they have to be able to understand you. So, my people have sort of this thing where, so things that breathe water, right? They can sort of understand us.
Okay. I've been fishing these rivers for decades now. I've never heard of anything like that, but we have food now. And she turns towards the door and sees you all entering and sees Dawn coming in. She's like, I figured you'd say hi, not invite him to eat too. I don't know if we have enough fish now to feed this lummox. You're muted.
He more invited himself.
Which Dawn pushes himself and says, Jungle, do you not have enough room here for an old friend? I mean, I do much work for this village. I feel that I can sit down and eat with you and speak with our dear Star, who has been gone for so long now. You see him obviously trying to use your presence here to get a free meal. At which point Jungle just sort of sighs and says, I need to stop being so nice to people. Fine, come in. And she kind of continues preparing the fish and is cooking this. There's a large, outside the hut, a large fire over which there's a cauldron of sorts that she is currently dicing the fish and throwing it into and creating a sort of like a stew or a chowder.
So is do you know if Leaf was planning on joining us for dinner tonight as well, or?
Dawn kind of looks back over to Jungle and says, "Oh, I don't think that Leaf will be coming here. He went pretty deep into the forests, and I don't know if he'll be back today."
Fair enough. He knows what he's doing.
That he does. So, tell us some of your stories. So, where have you been? Have you just recently arrived in Graldar?
Well, it's a fascinating tale, and while dinner's cooking, I probably make an abridged version of me getting to Arandel, making a small living, doing good, decent, honest, hard work, and definitely nothing shady at all. Eventually being chosen to help draft these emissaries towards 1,000 Steps to meet with the Tabaxi Council to help get to help build bonds between the Arandalian people and the nation of Graldar, before finally being relieved from my duties and wanting to show my friends around our great country and finally be able to come home.
Okay. Make a deception check.
Because this went great last time. Natural 20, 21.
Okay. You tell them the story, and you're as dinner is finished being prepared. Dawn and Jungle both sit there, sort of slack-jawed at the at this grand tale that you tell, and as she serves a meal in front of you, your mother looks at you and says, "Well, I'm glad that I have something to be proud of for you. It seems that you've done better than I had hoped. So, I suppose your absence for these years is to be forgiven."
I had the best influences growing up.
Dawn also, watching or listening to his tale, just shakes his head and says, "Well, it sounds as though you've done quite a number of good things. I've always had high hopes for you, even if you do make up stories about killing gnolls every now and then."
Oh, Dan, do you mind just showing him your new weapon quickly?
Oh, yeah.
You pull out the flail, and the skulls kind of clanging against each other, and the chains rattling. You draw it forward, and Dawn, sort of mid-bite, drops the spoon to the ground. It kind of clatters, spilling a little bit of soup across the floor. Your mother kind of chastising him for it as he just stares at it and says, "Oh, you've got to be fucking with me. Are you serious?"
I said she dealt the killing blow to Gorfang.
She turned them into, well, basically the soup you're eating.
I said it was more than
Oh, like I said, I'd always had high hopes for you, Star. It's the fact that you made it to the front lines and killed the Gnoll commander. Well done, all of you. You must be great warriors to have done so. I assume that you were there alongside the Screeching Windclan and Panther.
We were. She was very nice, showed us more of what we were going up against, and she helped, and we formulated the plan to get into the pit with the beast.
She was awesome.
He kind of gives a nod, and that you saying that, Dad, and is like, "She is quite a warrior from my time there. When I was on the front lines, she was just a small cub, was not leading or commanding at all, but she wielded a spear better than any person that I had ever seen. I'm glad to see that she's doing well for herself."
We were glad we could assist Storm and the rest of the elders in doing this job.
No. Well, and he takes another swig of his wine. So what's your plan now?
We were hoping to stay within the village for a few days before we have to make our journeys. I was planning on showing them some more of the sights of the country while I have the chance.
Fair enough. And what then? It sounds as though you're not planning on staying here. Aldar, that is.
Well, that's to be decided as of yet. There's a lot going on. I may have to go back to Ivrandel. I don't know why, but sometime in the future, maybe.
Well,
It all got a bit political somehow, and I'm tied up in it, unfortunately.
well, you've done great things and become important as a result. And important people rarely have a choice as where the wind takes them.
Hey, some people have a choice in being important. Some people have it thrust upon them. Some people are told they'll be important one day and no one gives an answer to why. I'm not bitter at all, but still.
Kind of looks at you a little bit confused. Says, all right.
Actually, now I'm back home. I've probably taken the bandana off my arm as well.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
here knows, so.
Yeah. He says, well, I'm glad to see that you're doing well. So, I guess it's growing late unless we have further conversation to make.
I'll probably be along to see you in your hut in the next day or two if you have the chance. I don't know what you're up to nowadays, other than drinking, shouting. And...
Just protecting the city, protecting the village and all who live here with my warrior's prowess.
Of course.
Well, I grow tired. I'm going to head back now. And he stands up, sort of wobbling a bit. Thank you for dinner, and I will see you all around. And he goes staggering down the steps.
Has this drinking problem really gotten that much worse? Really?
Your mother, as she's kind of cleaning up some of the bowls, she says, you have no idea. Last, I think it was only 2 moons ago that he was running around the city, or running around the village, yelling at frogs and other small creatures about, I don't even remember, but clearly had too much to drink.
I'm amazed that Six or Son hasn't chastised him yet. It's rather astounding.
I don't think that anyone is going to be able to take him from his ways. He seems very set in them.
Unfortunately, yes. I'll start helping out with the washing up as well.
And as
I might as well be a good child while I have the chance.
as everything is sort of finished and prepared, Chungle turns to everyone and says, I only have so much space in here for people if you wish to stay. My home is, of course, open to all of you, but well, I'm a simple woman and do not have many luxuries or accommodations to provide to the rest of you. So you can sleep on the floor, sleep outside the hut. It makes no difference to me.
We have our sleeping bags and the fire's still warm, so...
All right. Well, I am tired now, so I will head to sleep. And she looks to you, Star, and sort of puts her hand on your arm for a moment, looks at you motherly, says, I'm glad to see that you're okay. And she looks down at your hand and, says, and looks back up at you and says, despite whatever you've been through, sleep well.
You two, I'll see you in the morning.
All right. So the rest of you are heading off to sleep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You head to rest, waking the next day bright and early as the sun crests over the eastern horizon. You hear the sounds of the tabaxi folk making their way to and fro, beginning their daily chores, some heading out to the river to fish the day's catch. What would you like to do?
Do any of them have like leaves pinned to their just
Hasn't caught on quite yet.
okay.
Unless we're just like really doing anything important, I want to go hang out with the fishermen.
Okay.
Lil's just gonna take it easy and try and get rid of that injury point.
Okay. So is the plan just to sort of hang out here for a few days, rest, recuperate?
Pretty much, Star's gonna try catch up with as many people as he can. First person I guess I want to go see today is going to be Rain, if she's still in the village.
Okay. Yeah. So everyone sort of, then you go and bond with the fisher folk. Lil, you get some rest sort of outside the hut, watching everything that's happening while you try to recuperate from your recent injuries. And Star, you go and sort of begin asking around the village, pointed in the direction of the kind of clustering of huts where Six Cloud and Rain and sort of the rest of their small family lives. And you, after making your way that direction, you can see the kind of older or elderly tabaxi man, the one of the village elders that you recognize as Six Cloud, kind of sitting at the edge of the hut, weaving a basket currently, absentmindedly, sees you approaching, kind of squinting, and says, "Who's there?"
It's Star Cloud. Star shining between the storm clouds.
Star? Can't be Star. Star's been gone for years now. It kind of goes back to weaving his basket.
Star's been back for half a day now.
He stops and then really kind of peers down at you.
You remember that time I dumped a bucket of pig swill on your head? You chased me around the village with your wood axe trying to, well, I think scare me mostly now, but it was pretty terrifying.
Puts the basket aside and says, Is that really you?
Yes, it is.
He kind of calls over his shoulder and says, "Rain, get out here. Looks like Star's back." Which point you hear a voice echoing from inside, says, "Grandfather, Star's not here. He's been gone for years now. You see the curtains moving, and a slender young tabaxi woman, brown fur, very kind of tall and thin, steps out. She looks down, placing a hand on her grandfather's shoulder, kind of looking at him. She says, "Grandfather, are you all right?" Before looking up and seeing you. "Star?"
That's my name.
She comes rushing down the steps and kind of rushes over to you and embraces you really tightly and says, I didn't think that you were still alive."
I got rather tied up.
She steps back from you and looks at you and says, what happened? Where have you been?"
After that certain things I'd said, I'd go see more of the world than just Graldar, and went to the nation to the north for a few years.
I knew that you had talked about traveling. I never thought that you'd actually do it. When you disappeared, I think we were all a bit worried. We expected you to come back in a few weeks and have changed your mind.
Since when have you ever known me to change my mind about anything?
True. Well, so are you Are you back then for good?
I still have some traveling to do, but I'll hopefully be back very soon, permanently, maybe.
I'm glad to hear it. I hope you get to stay for a while. That is. It's good to see you, though. We should catch up when you have time.
I'll be here for a few days, so whenever you want, really, to meet or hang out, maybe.
All right. That sounds fun. We should do that. It's good to see you.
It's nice to see you too, and after all this time.
I'm just glad you're okay.
I'm glad you're doing well.
She looks back towards her grandfather, who is just still kind of sitting there and just like staring up, really still confused at your presence here. And she says, It is Star, grandfather. I can promise you that. I know that you can't see him too well, but he's like, oh, you stay out of trouble then and stay away from me with buckets.
Just tell him I've put a few thorns in his boots at some point. I'm sure he'll remember me then.
She looks at, please don't. He already complains enough.
He always did.
Well, she goes back to tending to him and says, I'll see you later then.
I'll see you later. I'll definitely be more in the village square tonight, hopefully.
All right. So, where do you go next?
Oh god, this is one I've been dreading. I'm gonna have to go and see son as well quickly, just to say, hey, I'm here. Don't scold me for anything. I didn't do it.
Okay. You make your way towards the hut, to kind of the largest hut at the center of the village, where Sun's residence is. As you make your way into the hut, kind of pulling aside the curtains, you see a few tabaxi gathered around, and one of them, a young man, kind of turns in your direction and says, I'm sorry, sir, can I help you? This young boy probably was only a couple years old when you left.
Is son around? I've been gone from the village a while, hoping to be able to see her quickly.
Oh. Son isn't... She passed a few months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I guess you're not from this village then.
I am from the village. I've just been traveling for a long time.
Oh. Her daughter, Moon, is matriarch now, has taken her position.
I suppose I'd better go and see Moon quickly then.
Okay. He says, "Oh, well, follow me. I'll take you to her." And quickly drops the broom that he was sweeping with and leads you further into the hut, into a small room in the back. And as he reaches the door, says, "Mother, do you have a guest out here?" And you hear some shuffling from within, and a deep brown furred tabaxi woman, a little bit more portly, a little bit shorter, steps out. She goes, yes, thank you. Star?
Again, that's my name. I don't know why people keep saying it so much today.
Because you're not here. When did you get back?
Yesterday afternoon.
It's good to see you. I'm sorry. I assume you haven't heard the news? My mother she passed a while back. I'm sure you're here to see her.
Your son told me as I was coming, and I'm sorry for the loss.
Oh, it's
She was a very wise leader and terrifying.
she did have a bit of a temper. It's good to see another return to home once again. We have so many coming and going now. Things are changing quite rapidly. But it's good for you to be here. I know she would have liked to see you, even if she did come across as a little bit angry.
I'm pretty sure her last words to me were, "Don't come back here until you make a proper man of yourself." But
Well, that was just who she was. But her passing was not a surprise. She was rather old, but she was no less missed by us.
of course, I figured I'd better come and announce I'm back for a few days at least.
I'm glad you're here. Well, we should have a feast or have a celebration that you have returned.
I've been telling people I'll be hanging around in the center of the village tonight, maybe. So I'm sure my friend will help gather food from the brambles or the river.
I'll tell everyone that you are back and that we will have everyone chip in and have a bit of a celebration tonight.
Well, I'm just waiting to see one more person currently, really. So I'll see you later tonight. I thank you for your time.
It's good to see you too.
And I'm gonna go hang out with my friends and wait till I see Leaf.
Okay. So the rest of you sort of relax. Den, you have a fun day filled with fishing and schooling people on the art of fishing.
Get
do
it?
actually seem
Get it?
Yeah.
Schooling.
The puns are only funny if you don't point them out.
No, that's the best part.
No, you they're very impressed by you and your proficiency with catching and sort of tricking fish into being eaten.
Yeah, it's kind of shady.
It's a little shady. But you all get a chance to relax, recuperate. The day wears on into the evening. You notice a bit of kind of commotion the center of the village. Some bonfires are lit, and it looks as though all the tabaxi are sort of gathering to eat together, all preparing some food. You get a couple that are gathered and playing on some small hand drums, kind of providing a little bit of music, while the younger tabaxi children and even some of the older elders are dance and sort of enjoy this jovial atmosphere. As you are kind of all gathering there for this feast and for this celebration, Star, you have many people approaching you, welcoming you home. Some of you recognize, some others have come and gone from the village. Younger people that have grown up that have changed, or a lot has changed, it seems, in the time you've been gone. You also sort of get the impression from the way you were speaking that a lot of people have sort of followed in your footsteps, moving outside the village, maybe doing business with the other, with the cities and other villages nearby, especially with the arrival of Randall in the area and the trade that has come from Fort Harrington. It seems that a lot of them have sort of benefited from that relationship. As night wears on, there is a little bit of commotion as the kids go and begin to sort of rush towards the edge of town. And sort of following their line of sight, you see a figure in dark leathers approaching with a hand cart kind of pulled behind them. Comes to rest, and you see all the kids gathering around, and the person sort of throws a few little trinkets and objects in their direction. They seem to excitedly look at them. You see Blackleaf coming into the village again with his quarry behind him. A large, looks like an ox that he has killed, and brought back to the village. Some of the other adults and the elder tabaxi gathering it, pulling it off to the side to begin preparing. Blackleaf sort of speaking with them and laughing and joking.
While he's distracted, I actually want to try sneak up on him. That's
Okay.
my game.
Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check.
28.
28. Okay. You just vanish into the shadows and you creep around, getting behind the cart. Nobody seems to notice you as you approach. What do you do?
But I just get closer and closer, so I'm like right behind him. Then it's just like above his shoulder, just boom.
At which point you go scare him. He immediately whips around. You hear the shing as he draws a dagger from his side.
But when he comes around with it, I'm ready with my own dagger. I know what he's like.
Okay, he jumps around. And you see this sort of feral, like very instinctual reaction from him. At the same time, both of your daggers meet in the air, and this sort of like the spark of steel. And he jumps backwards from this. Star, it's you! And he kind of comes up and he embraces you in a similar fashion that you're used to. And he backs up, and you can see that he's aged a bit. You can see some gray to his whiskers. Still looks like he's as active and sort of a wanderer as ever. But he definitely seems like he's aged a bit as you're kind of close to him. And he looks at you and he says, Why are you back here?
Passing through what on many an adventure.
Well, I'm surprised that you returned. You, from what I've gathered, you were having all sorts of adventures in a far-off place. I didn't think you'd ever return.
I got called back for duty I was asked to perform as I got given leave finally, so I figured I'd stop by quickly.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you. And he kind of claps you on the shoulder and looks you over again. He notices your hand and he says, It seems that you've encountered a bit of danger in your time, unless that's a new fashion statement I'm not aware of.
Well, we met some kind of weird old hag in a cave. It didn't go too well.
In the cave, you say?
Yes.
Did that have anything to do with the disappearances that were going on? I was tracking something similar for a time.
Funny story about that. We first one of my friends and I encountered a creature called an Oni, the jungle's darkness. That had been killing, kidnapping, eating, and that was dealt with. After a while, we met the creature that called itself Mother, and she was a bit of a tougher fight.
Were you in Waterleaf recently?
Yeah, we were.
That was you. I heard that there were some people that had come into town and dealt with a problem there. I didn't know that this was one of our own.
I learned a few new tricks since I was away.
I'm glad to see that what I taught you, or some of it, stuck.
And hey, I finally snuck up on you. It only took me, 10 years of being away? Or maybe you're just getting old and losing your edge.
Hey, I'm as sharp as ever. You've just improved. All right. Well, it seems as though I assume this celebration is for your return.
Yes, Moon seemed rather keen on the idea, surprisingly.
Well, go and enjoy. We'll catch up more. I'll bring you a drink later.
I'll just go carry on partying and talking to people and doing what's expected of me in a social situation, because I guess I'd better behave in front of the whole village. I've already found a point to put the kids to one side and tell them all the best pranks.
Okay. And their parents look on with apprehension. Most of them being people that, most of their parents at this point being people like you grew up with, that know your behaviors and penchant for danger and mischief. So they sort of usher their kids away after you're done speaking with them and saying like, no, you don't do a thing that he told you to do. I will tan your hide. The rest of you
I bet tomorrow we're woken up by screaming.
So you have a chance to celebrate and to gather, all of you sort of enjoying the atmosphere. Anything other conversations or people you want to speak with? Pretty much everyone is there.
While I've got the chance, first person I'm going to talk to will be Dawn.
Okay. You go and see the elders kind of sitting over in one side, all kind of...
If possible, I'd like to pull him to the side to have a bit of a private chat.
Okay. Dawn, who's had a few drinks, not as bad as he was the previous night yet. You pull him aside. He says, oh, of course, I'll come with you, all right. And you pull him off away from the festivities. He says, so, what do you need?
I went traveling because I didn't know what was going on with my life. I've come back to find the truth and come across more mysteries. John, I know you've kept an eye on everything that goes on as much as you can. I need to know about this mark and who gave it to me.
He kind of clams up a bit. You can see him shift awkwardly. I had hoped that your time away you'd lose interest. Well, I suppose you know, or you should know. You're a grown man now. And you deserve what little bit of truth I can give you. And the truth is that we gave you that mark. That was something the elders chose and did when you were but a boy. We didn't tell you any more about it because we don't know. It's something that we've been doing for generations now. I don't know why. All I know is that the elders are tasked with finding and accounting for the children, the cubs that have been born and within a certain time frame, and drawing lots. The lot we drew just so happened to be you, and thus we marked you. And as expected, around your 18th naming year, we expected that some men would come and would take you from us. What we hadn't expected is for you to leave before that time came to pass. The hooded figures came. They asked for you. They looked for the mark. Never found it. We told them you were dead.
Well, I've been exploring. They know the truth and they'll come for me one day.
I wish I had more answers for you. And maybe someday long past, someone did. But as far as I know at this point, no one here has the solution or the answers to why any of this had to happen.
Don, can you do me a favor after I'm gone? After I've left again?
Okay.
I need to ask my mother about my father. He's the only other lead I have, and you know that's not the easiest of subjects to broach. I'll try to do it just before I leave, so no hard feelings are to be had, but look out for her just in case for me.
I understand. You need to know. You need these answers, as any young man in your situation would.
Thank you.
I've been looking after her for this time. I think I can continue to do so. Though, as I can tell you, she doesn't really need it. She takes care of herself. And honestly, I'm probably more in danger from her than she is from anything else. But I'll do what I can.
Thank you. It means a lot after all the things I did.
He claps you on the shoulder and says, "Come, enjoy the feast that they're throwing for you. At least have a few drinks, dance with a few girls. Enjoy yourself."
I suppose after that we go back to the feast. We drink, we sing, dance with Rain for a little bit.
As you go to speak with Rain, she sees you and she says, "Oh, Star, and, are you? How are you? Are you rested? Are you enjoying your celebration? I didn't expect that they would do anything like this."
I wasn't expecting it. I definitely not from Moon.
She sort of fidgets for a moment and she says, I should probably tell you that I remember the last conversation we had before you left. And, well, 10 years is a long time.
It is.
I need to tell you that this is awkward to say, but I've been betrothed.
Who to?
Vine of the Swaying Tree clan as well, one of the noble families in Thousand Steps.
That's wonderful. You'll finally be able to move up as your family's always wanted.
She seems to grasp for words that don't come. She says, "A lot changes in 10 years.
A lot really does.
Well, I know that from what I heard, you're going to be leaving soon. And if you do make it back, I might be in Thousand Steps at a time. It'd be good to see you again."
I'll make sure to stop in. I can't let you get into any trouble now, can I?
No. I think you've drawn enough attention now, and you're a little too old to be getting into mischief like you used to when you were kids. I remember when you used to steal small things from my grandfather's house. I assume that you don't do things like that anymore.
Not at all. My goals are much larger now.
Well, Let's get a drink.
Yeah, of course.
And she kind of walks back with you and begins sort of chatting and catching up a bit more. And there's sort of a little bit of an awkwardness to her conversation. You can tell that she was definitely sitting on that for about as long as she could. But all in all, she seems very happy to be in your presence. So, as you celebrate, eat, drink, before finally the night wears the point that you all sort of conk out, passing out, or just going to sleep at some place or another. Is there anything else during your guys' time? Sorry, you wanted to have another conversation with your mother before leaving. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do before leaving Sharpthorn?
It's just the one last conversation for me, aside from the general catching up with everyone.
Okay. So I assume sort of last conversation you have right before you leave.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys have a few days of recuperating and resting. If you have any injury points, it's enough to knock them down by 1 level. So you guys all sort of get that chance to relax the best way possible and enjoying the small town on the edge of Tabaxi territory. On the last day, as you guys are sort of packing yourselves up, ready to leave, most of you kind of outside the hut, packing up your bedrolls and belongings. Star, you head inside where your mother is currently cleaning and preparing for the day. She kind of calls over her shoulder, not really looking towards you. She says, I guess you'll be leaving now?
Before I do, I know you don't like this. I know you won't like this. I know I was told never to bring it up again, but I need to know now more than ever. Who is or was my dad? What's he like? Where did you meet him? Where was he from?
She's currently, or she was cutting a sort of bunch of vegetables, preparing for whatever she was going to be cooking for that day. And as you mentioned that, she stops, puts the knife to the side, and just sort of leans on the counter. You hear a long sigh. Things never really do change, do they?
The only clue I ever had was my fur. Even then, I've never met another tabaxi like me.
I didn't tell you about your father because I didn't want you being like him. Your father was a bastard who couldn't commit to anything and left when he was needed the most. I've seen you become more like him than I would have hoped, so I might as well tell you this now. And she's still not looking at you, just sort of speaking over her shoulder. His name was Ice. He had white fur, like you. I don't know where he came from. He showed up in our village. He said he had explored all of Graudar. I was young, stupid, and I fell for him. He stayed for a while, left every now and then, and came back. Always talking about far-off places he had visited. The last time he came back, I told him that I was with child. Asked him to stay. He refused. Said that his purpose was greater than that. Said that strangers had come from a far-off place. They were exploring the edges of our lands, that they had come from beyond the sea. Called them, sailors, pirates, something like that. I don't know what they were. I never met them. I cursed him out, told him to never come back. And he left to join them.
If I ever do find him or meet him, I'll make sure he knows what he missed out on. The good and especially the bad.
Good. Just don't be like him. If you find something, give it your all. You find something worth doing, worth enjoying. I know you have these friends now that you're adventuring with, traveling with. They seem nice. Don't abandon them. Otherwise, you're no better than him.
You know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even be able to be standing here right now.
That means they're worth sticking around for.
And I suppose I have found a purpose, maybe. I'm sure Growldar as a whole will change even more soon, for better or for worse. I know for a fact somehow I'll be at the center of that.
Well, I know you always thought that you were destined for great things, but only you get to decide that. So, make the most of it. She sighs, and still facing across the room, she reaches over and kind of rummages around in the cabinet, like far up, and you hear her grab a small jar, a clay jar. She pulls the lid off, rummages around. If you hear something metal kind of slide around inside, she takes it. She turns towards you, and you can see that she's crying. Kind of wet fur around her face. She walks over to you, takes your hand, and clasps it down in it. She says, "If you want to find your father, this is about all I have to offer. It's the only thing he left behind besides you. Maybe it'll help."
I embrace her again. Sort of look at her, hands on her shoulders. They'll definitely be back one day.
I know. But I'll be here. I mean, I have nowhere else to go.
Go back to the city. I heard you were famous once. Maybe you could go back with Rain. You never know.
She made a stupid choice choosing that other boy.
If it's the one I think it is, I wanted to punch him when he visits as a child.
Wow. Be safe. Come back with at least one working hand next time.
I can't make any promises.
I know. Well, I have work to do. You should go. It's getting late.
And I leave, and as I go through the door, I look at whatever it was she gave me.
It's a pristine gold coin with a set of, like imprinted into it, what looks to be a set of scales balanced on a knife.
Star sort of just flips it in the air a couple of times before putting it in his pocket. Goes to see his friends, so I assume have finished gathering up everything.
Yep. They're all sort of packed up, waiting outside for you.
Ready to go?
I mean, that's up to you. You want to stay?
Of course I do, but whatever's been happening here needs to stop. Whether it's closing the portal, finding another way, or a more direct approach. I guess that's what we're heading towards next before we head off elsewhere.
You're probably right. I like this place. It's nice. It's quiet. It's away from everything. We'll come back.
Definitely.
So come on. And he like reaches over and like grabs him by the shoulders and pulls him close. I was like, you're the only one who knows the way through those fucking brambles. So, I mean, I would go, but I don't want to like die from just all of that just crap. So I'm following you.
It's not hard once you get the hang of it.
I mean, it just means that you're gonna have to show me like 3 or 4 more times, meaning that we're gonna have to come back 3 or 4 more times. So I'm like, if that's the deal. Like, if you don't want to do that, then we just have to stay. But if we're going, we have to come back, and that's the deal.
We could stay. I could make a pretty good living as a fisherman.
I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do, but I mean, I could think of something.
Let's go. We're going to lose the daylight.
So you heading towards Storm's Tower still, or where are you guys heading?
Still towards Storm's Tower, I guess.
Okay. You pack up your belongings, gather towards the edge of the village. You see a few of the other tabaxi gather around, sort of waving you off as you go to leave. Many familiar faces, kind of seeing Star wander off once again. Turn towards the brambles and begin navigating your way through towards the west, out towards Last Shadow Bay and where you believe Storm's Tower to be. And that's where we'll go ahead and end our session for tonight.
You just hear Lucius as, like, scene ends. I swear to God, if we don't see any gorillas on this trip, I'm going to murder something!
Oh, didn't I tell you? Like, dogs killed like 5 of those things in one go.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming out and watching. We will be back again next week. Savannah, you got our list of thanks, or can you not pull it up because the computer?
No.
Oh, okay.
I can wing it.
No, it's fine. I mean, just generally, thank you to UP Gaming and thank you to Incarnate, who does we do all of our maps through. Thank you to
Incomtech music.
Incomtech for the music.
Julie for the art.
Julie for the art.
Sarah for the overlays.
Sarah for the overlays. And if you like more excellent video game, and I don't know what you say.
Is that what you think I sound like?
Yeah, something like that.
That was pretty close.
Yeah.
It's not like you guys live together or anything.
If you want more excellent D&D and other video game content, check out UPIT Gaming here on Twitch, where you can now subscribe and get a custom emote. among other things, you can continue cheering for us as well. We haven't mentioned cheering in a while. You can continue cheering for us in the chat.
You still have the top cheer.
I do still have the top cheer. So I will issue now a challenge to all of our wonderful viewers out there. I have the top cheer on this channel, and I have for like a month. So, pick it up out
We
there.
got to do a giveaway for
With
anyone
the
that
cheering.
can beat it.
We'll think of a cool giveaway to do if you beat my cheer. That is not a guarantee, but I will try very hard to think of something.
It's on the internet now. It has to happen.
It might
The
just
internet
be,
can't lie to you.
On the internet, it has to be true. Come on.
It might just be Dylan rapping or something for a few minutes at the beginning of our session.
I would cheer for that.
I would cheer for that.
Why did I get volunteered for this?
Because you've been quiet for the past 25 minutes.
And then, in addition to Twitch being awesome and you all being awesome, follow us on Twitter at UPickGaming, also at Survivor Complex without the S, and subscribe on YouTube as well. Sarah has put all the links at the bottom of the page, which is awesome. So they're down there. She worked really hard on them. So yeah, read them. Go to those links.
And then the Soul Stitcher class, because I know someone asked in chat, is what I'm playing. It is a homebrew class by Sean that can be found on the DM's Guild. So check it out. I'm loving it. I'm level 7, and I cannot wait for like 3 or 4 more levels because it's awesome. And then Sean, about the calendar, is that on the UPick Gaming Twitter, or
It's
is it on?
in the process of being made beautiful and readable for everyone.
definitely.
We are going to post a link and pin it to the Survivor Complex Twitter.
There you go. So
Definitely going to happen at some point.
sweet.
All right.
I think that's it from chat that I'm reading. So
Okay. Well,
other than all the ninjas cutting onions.
well, thank you for everyone for coming out and watching, and we'll be back next week. And come out on Tuesday to watch our Cypher system game Wonder World to see some superhero action. But until next time, good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
Net.